Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Number 1, Ohio State's a 25.5-point favorite at 2-4 Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. Hear that game on the Fan with coverage Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Ryan Day told reporters Wednesday safety Lorenzo Stiles and defensive tackle Edric Houston should be ready for Wisconsin. Both missed the Illinois game with injuries. Hear more from Ohio State's head coach today at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. In baseball last night, the Blue Jays beat the Mariners 13-4 in Game 3 of the ALCS. Seattle still leads the best of 7, 2-1. Toronto's going to host Game 4 tomorrow night at 8:30. And on the ice tonight at Nationwide, the Blue Jackets host the Colorado Avalanche at 7 p.m. Dean Evison told T-Bone and Tyvis that Elvis Merzlikins will get the nod in net. You can hear that game on the Fan with coverage at 6:30. Cam Atkinson's going to sign a 1-year contract today to officially retire as a Blue Jacket. Atkinson will join Bo Bishop this morning at 9:45. This update is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
Talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a Thursday edition of the program. Bo and the boys with you for the next 3. I got to be honest with you. I hope we have time to get all this in. There's so much going on. Cam Atkinson going to join us at 9:45. Jackets back at home tonight against the Avs. We've got the Bengals and Steelers tonight on Thursday Night Football. We've got a piping full over-the-brim mailbag to get to. We have the trial of Paul Finebaum. We're going to have a trial of Paul. We'll see if he can handle the truth. He's running his mouth. He's getting strays. We got to see what's going on, the real truth on that. So he'll join us at 10:30. We'll beat the house at 11, and a little bit of Shelley time coming up at 11:30. I have covered high school football in 4 states, Montana, Florida, Georgia, and this one. This is the only one that does it the way I'm not sure. I shouldn't say it that way. There's several things that are unique about Ohio high school sports. Number 1 would be the computer system for how they're rated for the playoffs. There's no other state I've been in that does it that way, that has strengths and weaknesses based on strength of schedule and wins and losses out of division and all of that stuff. There's not a Joe Idle in Georgia. There's not Joe Idle in Florida. There wasn't one in Montana either. It was straightforward. You played in your districts. The districts in those places, districts or division or conferences, were dictated based on the size of your school and the proximity. It was pretty straightforward. Here, it's different. You'll have bigger schools playing with smaller schools and conferences and everything. The other thing that's very different here is the Catholic school pull, especially in the older parts of the state. So in Cleveland and Cincinnati and Youngstown, Toledo to a certain extent, there is this incredible pull of the Catholic schools that are there. And so with that, the Catholic schools here win state championships. Moeller's won a lot of state championships. St. Ignatius won a lot of state championships. St. Ed's has won a lot of state championships. Cardinal Mooney, Hoban, St. Vincent St. Mary. There's a bunch of them that have won state championships. My hunch is at the big school level, Bake, if you were to go back and look, my guess is Division I, Division II, most of the state champions are, in the history of, since they've been crowning them here before they went to the vote, are private schools. That'd be my guess. Without doing all the research on it, that would be my guess. So there's that factor here that's different than everywhere else. One of the things that I never really understood until I got here was how difficult it was for a public school to win a big school state championship. Now, Columbus has changed that in the last 25 years. I mean, we've had Davidson's won a couple, Pick Central's won, Liberty's won, Orange won basketball. Like, we've seen state champions at the highest level, at the biggest classification. We've seen that, and it's come from Central Ohio because Central Ohio doesn't have that culture that Northeast Ohio and Southwest Ohio have, where the private schools and the Catholic schools dominate. So what does all this have to do with anything? Well, what this has to do with is what happened yesterday. So Jameer Brown is the number 1 wide receiver in the 2027 class. He is currently a junior at Huber Heights Wayne High School. They're good. That's where Braxton Miller went, for those of you just jumping on. He is suing the OHSAA to bring NIL to high school sports. As it stands right now, and I believe I have this right, Ohio is one of 6 states that does not allow NIL by student athletes and its member schools. The pushback on this that you will get, and as just kind of go back to the previous few comments that I was making, I remember when I first started doing the Ohio high school football, we do the stuff on ONN. We do the games, and we would do a high school football show every week, and we do all these things. And I remember people complaining at the time about Massillon High School. Well, Massillon recruits. And I thought, well, so does St. Ed's, and so does Ignatius, and so does Hoban, and so does everybody that they're competing against. They all recruit too. You think every single kid that goes to St. Ed's or St. Ignatius is a Catholic kid? My guess is not. It's probably the way that goes. And I know for a fact one big-time, ultra-successful team up there, program up there, has been moving towards this, knowing that NIL was coming, and is getting organized on that front so that they can compete at the very, very highest of levels. That's happening in preparation for this. So this lawsuit was filed yesterday in Franklin County. The Ohio High School Association could result in an emergency referendum vote of OHSAA member schools, as a bylaw would allow high school student athletes to be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. Here's the problem with any of this when it comes to the pushback. And I'm guessing, my hunch is, if we put this out on the poll, do you want NIL for high school sports in the state of Ohio? My hunch is the great many of you would say no, that you don't want it. But the problem is, are you going to say that an athlete can't make money on his name, image, and likeness the same way some YouTube kid can? And that's the problem. It's never been more easy for these kids to profit off of their following, off of influence, off of whatever. They can all profit off it, and yet you're going to say athletes can't because that makes them no longer amateurs. All the while, the feeder sport that you are feeding into, college athletics, it's now completely legal. So why do we say that kids under 18 can't make money? That's going to be the pushback of it, and that's why all of this is happening. I don't know what, for those of you that are upset with the OHSAA, if you want to be upset with them with a million things, that's fine. But on this one, I just don't know what other option they have other than to do this. And Bake, I know you've been following it very closely. How would you kind of categorize where we are right now with this, and how you think this is going to play out over the next few weeks and months?
Well, first of all, some people are upset with the OHSAA, and I'll be totally transparent and honest, and I think a lot of people know this. Like, I work for the OHSAA radio network. Mm-hmm. So I'm not an employee of the OHSAA, but I do help out with their state broadcasts. And Ohio is the only place that does that, right? That offers a free broadcast of their state championships, and they will still let your local area cover them too. It's not like you have to take their broadcast. Yeah. They have it for you if you want it available. So I think that's something really cool that the OHSAA does. So, full transparency there. But the OHSAA back in 2022 put this up to a vote to their schools. And the schools voted 2-1 no on this. So should the OHSAA go against what their schools want and do this? Who knows? Now, in September, they put something in the for a vote, or they basically got bylaws ready for an NIL thing that the schools can vote on this coming May. Well, now that this lawsuit has happened, there's going to be an emergency vote on this to see if they want to put this in place sooner, which is probably going to happen here. And this is how a lot of this stuff has happened in the colleges, right? Yeah. Somebody sues someone. They don't want to deal with the legal issues in the battle, so they bump it up. So the OHSAA was looking ahead here a little bit because they were like, this is coming. We've got to do this. Even though it just got voted down by our schools, it's just coming a little faster than they thought. And listen, maybe the Ohio high schools should have got on this sooner because, as you mentioned, there's only 6 states that don't allow it. I think it's like Michigan, Hawaii, Wyoming, and I can't remember the other 2.
I'd be shocked if one wasn't Montana.
They've gotten their hands. They got the hand pushed here, right? It's going to come a little sooner. But they did this fall get together language for an NIL proposal that was going to be voted on in May again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand all the points in this, right? Like, I hate it that the high school kids even have to deal with this and that there's money going to high school kids. And listen, to me, Jameer Brown is a 1 in, 3,000 kid, 1 in 5,000 kid, who knows?
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know how many high school kids are going to really be affected by this or have to deal with this. And so I hate that this is even something there. Like, it's like somebody offering an 8th grade kid. It's kind of creepy to me. It's weird. You know, let these kids be kids. Let them grow up, because you don't know what's going to happen in their lives the next couple of years and whatnot. But as you mentioned, a kid opening toys on YouTube can make a lot of money, so why not?
Well, there was a case a couple of years ago about a New Albany golfer, and she's now at the professional level. And when she was kind of making the decision whether to remain an amateur, or I guess remain under the purview of the OHSAA or go professional, really all it did was it just disqualified her from competing in OHSAA-sponsored events and or OHSAA-sanctioned events. And I think the decision was, I'm just not going to fight it. I'm just going to go pro and kind of ignore all of that. And I think those decisions happen more than what you're seeing or what you saw yesterday, where there's one football player amongst thousands of other athletes that participate in fall, winter, and spring sports that just say, I'm not going to fight that then. And this instance, someone said, we'll fight this for you. And now we're seeing this being moved along like that. Because that's what it takes.
Yeah, and I think you can really, if you're looking for the root of all of this, it's probably comes from this idea that we have a much smaller world than we've ever had, and you now have access to so many things: your reach, your following, your social media footprint. All of these things are, to Bake's point, that Ryan kid who's a multi-millionaire opening toys. You go into Target, he's had a line at Target. And he's a little kid. And so what is to stop a little kid who's a golfer from profiting off that if he can hit trick shots? Or you got a basketball player. The crazy thing about the state of Ohio is we've really had NIL for a very, very long time. I mean, we've had it. I mean, the private schools have had it for a very, very long time. Some of that stuff that people used to whisper about Massillon is very, very true. We have had coaches trying to pull parents and pull kids from one district to another for as long as we've been competing in athletics. It's been there. It's something you fight. Get little Timmy's dad a job at the school, and he's going to be our quarterback next year. I mean, that's been happening only forever. And so this is just kind of that last thing. It's a tricky talk, though, when you think about it. And I will say this. For people like what Bake said there, I agree with him in terms of the kid who's come with this lawsuit, the 5-star number 1 wide receiver in the 2027 class, Jameer Brown. He is 1 in 3,000 or something like that. But this state provides and produces superstars across various sports at the very highest level, and you will see multimillionaires playing high school sports in the state of Ohio. That is happening. That would have happened right now. If you think I'm kidding about that, Google Darren Peterson. Google who he is. I've told you guys about him since he was a freshman. I saw him play as a freshman, and he's the best high school basketball player I've ever seen. He's the number 2 high school player in the country. He's currently at Kansas. He signed a 7-figures deal in high school with Adidas. He went to Huntington Prep to finish out. He played his first 2 years at CVCA, which is a school up in Northeast Ohio, suburb of Akron. Then transferred for his junior year. Why? 7-figure reason why. And he's gone. And now he's going to be a top 3 pick in the draft. He's going to play his freshman year at Kansas. You're going to see that. Except now he could have stayed, and the money could have been here.
And you can't have these kids leave. You don't want these kids leaving the state, right? When you have these athletes like Alex Smith, the kid at Upper Arlington that's playing, I think at the same school that Darren Peterson went to now. They moved to Florida. I think they moved from Nevada to Florida, but Alex Smith is down there. He'll be playing for the Buckeyes next year. But his senior season, he's in Florida now because of that. So
yeah, I'd rather have him be at Arlington. That's what I'd rather have. Busy night tonight on the sports schedule. Jackets back at home. Bengals in a must-win against the Steelers. We'll get to all of it coming up next. We're off and running. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The kitchen drain has had enough. The toilet's called it quits. The faucet in the master bath, it's throwing childish fits.
In a flash, I'm at your door to win your water war. I battle leaks and clogs and drips until I are no more.
Free service call with your plumbing repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Matty Ice here. How far are you willing to drive for a great deal on a new vehicle? Well, I made the short drive north to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion and got my new car. And right now, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 with up to $12,000 off MSRP for qualified buyers. They believe in a no-hassle sales experience, so you can get the truck you want at a price you'll love without the stress. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
We've all got it, you know, that one crazy thing you've always wanted to do, that bucket list goal. Then a cancer diagnosis, and that one thing still goes according to plan. I would know I'm getting my first tattoo right now, while my 3 beautiful daughters laugh hysterically at me. 58 years old, 4 years of cancer-free checkups at Ohio Health. Go ahead and get a picture, girls. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keep making plans.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
This ain't one of them, Timmy.
It's not the show, it's a spot. All October, we're watching our football team on Saturdays and the tailgate buffet.
Ooh, Mikey likey. Plus, they've got the 3 apps for $12 deal, and you can beat the crowds and reserve a table.
Yes, do that at HollywoodColumbus.com. And we got a special offer this month. Become a new member of our rewards program on the ESPN Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's Thursday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Bengals and Steelers live from the Queen City. Fan coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Do you have foot pain? Foot pain is not normal regardless of your age or job. Podiatric physicians are the most qualified doctors to care for your feet and can provide important foot care solutions or shoe inserts to better manage foot pain. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and are dedicated to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. We've been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Warming through the 50s and into the 60s this afternoon. We'll see plenty of sunshine for this Thursday. Clear skies tonight, temperatures in the low 40s, some isolated frost possible by early Friday. Cloud cover increases Friday, temperatures still in the 60s, 80s Saturday before storms on Sunday. That's your latest weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Just when you thought afternoons couldn't get any dumber.
You fellas been doing a bit of boozing, have you?
Common Man and Tinny.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Your home for dumb. The Fan. If you love a good pie analogy.
Think of the cap as a pie. And once you take out one piece, there's less left for the next guy.
Then this is the radio show for you. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
It is Buckeye, Wisconsin week bake. How do we have it covered?
The Buckeyes, as you mentioned, heading to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers, and nobody will get you closer to that game than us here at the Fan and 10 TV. We kick things off Saturday at noon, the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Simulcast not only on the Fan, but 10 TV and 10 TV Plus. Then you can watch the game at 3:30 over on 10 TV and listen to it live with Paul and Jim right here on the Fan. The Fan and 10 TV, your home for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, the realities of this, Bake said something in the break where, you say, like, how do you teach, you're in high school and how do you teach a millionaire? Though there won't be many of those. There won't be too many. This kid who filed the lawsuit, he might be one of them. Darren Peterson would have been one of them. There's probably a couple of kids here in the next decade that are going to be one of them. But you are going to have to teach some entitled kids. And the other thing that's going to be an even bigger problem with it, I mean, this is Buddy Garrity, right? This is all I've ever wanted, is to do this. Like, I'm going to get a used car dealership, maybe open up a sports bar here in town, and I'm going to put mailboxes all over town for the best athletes to live in. I mean, like, that's the thing that you think in your head. I don't know how you couldn't. I mean, that's the whole operation, is that booster money to bring kids in and get them to your school, get the dad a job, and away you go. There's really nothing that you're going to be able to do to put any sort of parameters on it. And we've seen this at the NCAA level, where there's a lot more money and a lot more give a damn to try to stop it. How's that clearinghouse going for the NIL deals? How's that working? We did that story 2 weeks ago. The people basically pushed the chips into the middle of the table and said, well, there's no way that we're going to be able to police this. So they just did it on their own. You can't get these deals approved. So once you open the gates on this, you have to also understand that there's no policing it. That you're going to have stuff that, quite honestly, has probably been going on around here for as long as they've played high school sports. Kids switching schools to go play for a better coach or a better team. I mean, I'm sure you guys grew up here. I'm sure you guys have. There's probably stories that you've heard, and whether they're absolutely 100% truth or not, there's some truth to them.
Yeah, Bo, I think I told you earlier, I went to Grove City, and it seemed like every year we got Franklin Heights' best player the next year over at our school. And I know, like, it happens a lot. A lot of these nowadays, a lot of these city league schools end up in the best players end up in the suburbs, and some of the suburb schools that aren't as good, they end up at other schools. So it happens. It's been happening forever.
To my knowledge, no one in UA or Central Ohio did anything wrong ever.
Well, definitely not Upper Arlington.
To my knowledge, nobody did anything wrong.
Nothing to see here.
There's nothing here. Move along. This is a nothing burger, as you call it. Fake news media.
Yeah. So there will be more of that you're going to have to try to police, or I don't know. Probably not, honestly. We'll probably just let it go.
It's hard enough for these teachers to get kids to listen to them anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, how is the $75,000 a year, if they're making that much, history teacher going to tell the $1 million wide receiver, hey, I'm going to need you to study for this test?
Did you say entitled kids and then ask me about UA? How dare you? How dare you, sir? I mean, you're just asking school administrators and teachers and staff to do more that they have no interest in. That's why, to Baker's point, in 2022, this was thrown out there for the schools, and the schools said, no, we're not interested in doing this.
Yeah. It's hard enough to be a teacher. This will add to it. You think about LeBron with the Hummer all those years ago. Like, how I can't imagine how big of a story that would have been now. Like if that story happens now, somebody that gifted. Well, he wouldn't have played at St. Vincent St. Mary. He wouldn't have won state championships. He'd be at IMG or he'd be at one of these prep schools. He wouldn't have been at St. Vincent St. Mary. And that's one of the things I hated about the Peterson kid is like, that's a kid who is, I think he's originally from the Canton area, played at CVCA for 2 years, and then had to leave the state to go profit because Adidas thought he was special. And what was robbed was him winning a state championship in Ohio. He was never Mr. Basketball. I mean, go look at the Mr. Basketball list in this state. And he's not on it because he left because that's where the money was. So that stuff is, I would have loved to have seen him compete in this state for the last couple of years and drag teams to state titles because I think he's that special. I think you're going to see he's that special when he plays for Kansas this year. Bengals hosting the Steelers tonight down in Cincinnati. We'll have a much bigger, longer preview of this coming up a little bit later in the program. Feels like a must-win, though, to me, for Cincinnati. I don't think you can go a whole lot further. This Pittsburgh seems very gettable. They're not very good defensively at all. Bottom third in the league against the run and the pass. There should be plays out there to be made. If the Bengals are going to have any hopes of being relevant in December, doesn't this feel like must-win?
This is a must-win. Yeah, this is one of probably the only must-win in October you've seen in a long time. But you cannot go to what would it be 2-5? And have any hope with what's coming, and especially with Pittsburgh, then would go at 5-1 with a win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to clinch the North by November 1st. It's kind of the way that one goes. Jackets at home tonight, hosting the Avs, part of a 3-game homestand. That one starts at 7 o'clock, the Fan pregame here at 6:30. Bake, you going?
Yes, I will be there tonight. I mean, I think you can see I'm wearing my Cam Sanity t-shirt today.
There it is.
Like, yep. I could not miss Cam getting honored tonight. And, Bo, speaking of Jackets, they play Tampa on Saturday. We have 2 pairs of tickets to give away to that today.
What are we doing?
We missed it yesterday. We've got 2 pairs of tickets to give away to that game today. So,
do we want to do it after Cam?
We're going to do one after Cam, and then I think one after Shelley time. Seems appropriate, right?
All right, so we'll do one after Shelley time, one after Cam. I like your planning on that. Cam's going to join us here in about 17 minutes from now. He's an all-timer for me. Just an all-time favorite Jacket for me. I loved watching that dude play. So he signs that one-day contract and then will retire as a Blue Jacket. And, of course, came back here to raise his family and has been incredible on the youth hockey front here in town. So very, very cool. He'll be joining us here in about 17 minutes. 2 minutes from now, the Buckeyes inching closer to that trip to Madison. Ryan Day and some of the principals who will be in charge of making sure that thing goes smoothly. You'll hear from them in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
It's easy to fall for CME, Ohio's #1 credit union thanks to you. Recognized nationally and statewide by Forbes. Rooted right here at home. CME Federal Credit Union. Bank with the best. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. Visit CMEFCU.org. The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserve by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, here's what's up on a Thursday edition of the program. Buckeyes inching closer to making that trip out to Madison. You know, there was, for most of our, depending on your age, and you're probably very accustomed to a trip to Wisconsin being something that could be a little bit frightening. I don't know if Urban broke them entirely in 2014 in the Big Ten championship game, but it felt like that went a long way towards it. They stabilized, but if you go back 15 years, man, they were one of the serious threats that you would look at. You'd see that trip to Madison, go, well, you're in for one there. It's going to be at night. They're going to do jump around, all of those things. And the wheels have just fallen off of the program entirely. It's gone about as bad as it could go for Luke Fickell there. And as I've said many times, it was a tough time for me understanding what he saw in the ceiling of that job. But nevertheless, he took it. He tried to do some pretty big changes with it. Did not take. And so they're trying to find their way back. And the question is, will he be the one to lead that to find their way back? But the other part of that is, can they even get back? And I'm more on that side of things. I think that there was a moment for Wisconsin, and that moment has come and gone. And now they will settle into that, at best, Iowa, Minnesota, them, Nebraska, kind of all in the same mix and in a very clear, at best, second tier. Whatever their best is, you know, you're going to sit up here and say, well, that you're going to get their best on Saturday. I don't know if you will. They had homecoming last week against Iowa in their place, a rival, and were beaten 37-0. That's the reality of where this program is right now. That's homecoming. So how are they going to give much of a pushback to the Buckeyes? That's something that we can all talk about. Ryan Day's not going to want to hear any of it. He is convinced you're going to get his best, and he's doing his best to convince his team of that as well.
Luke Fickell's a very good coach. He knows winning football, and his team plays hard. They play sound football. Now, I know the season hasn't gone the way that they've expected it to go, but at the same time, put the film on. You know, they're one of the better defenses in the country, and, you know, all it takes is, you know, a few big plays and getting the offense in rhythm, and they're going to be in these games. And so we know that, and we know going in, you know, any game on the road is a challenge in this league. So, you know, we know what we're going to get. And, you know, for us, as you know, we want to just continually focus on our process and how we do things. But, you know, I think the other thing is, you know, there's a lot of ways to look at it, but I'm sure they feel like their backs are against the wall a little bit, you know, fighting for this season, which you know, I can understand. And so, you know, when you get that, you know, you're going to get a team that's going to come out with their hair on fire. And so, you know, we have to match that intensity and then some.
Here's the reality. Wisconsin won their first two games, beat Miami, Ohio 17-0, beat Middle Tennessee 42-10. Then they had a 4-game stretch that started at Alabama, lost 38-14, Maryland at home 27-10, Michigan in Ann Arbor 24-10, Iowa homecoming 37-0. If they didn't get wins in those four, wait till I tell you the next four. Buckeyes Saturday at Oregon, Washington at home, at Indiana, Illinois at home, then at Minnesota. It's very possible that they will not be favored in a game. In fact, likely they will not be favored in a game the rest of the way. And very, very possible that this ends up like 2-10, 3-9 at best. Just an unmitigated disaster. And I hate that it's happened to Luke, because he's one of all of our favorite guys ever. And it's crazy to wrap your head around the fact that this is where the program is. So Ryan's got to say what he's got to say about getting their best, and he can't have his team overlook it and all of those things. But the reality is, if not for the helmet and the brand, if you just look at what this team is, this is very similar to the way that you're going to look at Purdue or Northwestern if you played them. I mean, that's what this operation is now, guys. It's crazy how far they've fallen, how quickly.
Yeah, just off a cliff. And I know, hearing from Ryan talking about how they're going to get their best, this is a back against the wall game. I'd argue that last week was the back against the wall game, and you saw the response there. This is going to be, a 2-3 win football team at best. But I just, it's so hard for me, because for 25 years the Wisconsin game was the second game on the schedule. The schedule you circled, and you said that's going to be a bar fight.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it was. And recently it hasn't. And especially Saturday, where you're now 25.5-point favorites here. This could be for Ohio State to pick your score. I know the weather's not great, and what Ohio State's done recently on offense has led you to believe, well, they're going to have 5-6 drives, and they're just going to chunk time and try to get out of Madison healthy and with a win is all they really care about, and I can't necessarily blame them, but it sucks to see, and it sucks to hear that they're in the same spot that Indiana, or I shouldn't say Indiana, the same spot Iowa is, the same spot Minnesota is, and the Big Ten is, just an also.
I try to be pretty realistic on these Buckeye games, especially when we pick them in the spread, right? Last week I did not pick the Buckeyes to cover because I thought it would be weird and something would happen, and it just seemed like Illinois didn't play clean enough. This spread opened at 27.5, and then it dropped to 24.5, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I feel like you just said the team, Reese. I feel like this game is going to go a lot like the Minnesota game, quite frankly. And I feel like it's one of these ones. Ryan Day is, I don't think anybody at Ohio State is going to want to embarrass Fick. So they'll probably have their hands on the reins quite a bit here. But I could see this game getting ugly and out of hand really fast. And I feel like, just kind of looking ahead right now, this has a real Minnesota feel to me, a 42-3 type game.
It's hard to put yourself in a position where you could imagine Wisconsin scoring.
Yeah. And that's hard to imagine, as you mentioned, some of those teams of the 2010s,
Yeah. Well, heck, man, early
Even
2000s, they won 2 out of 3 out of 4. From 01 to 04, they won 3 out of 4. The last time they beat Ohio State was 2010 in Madison, 31-18. But there's a ton of classic games that follow. 11, it was 33-29 Buckeyes. 21-14 Buckeyes. 13, it's 31-24. Then Urban breaks them. I mean, that's the 59-0 in the Big Ten championship game. You don't play them again until 16, 30-23, 17, 27-21, competitive. It starts to get a little dicey, though. Last time out, Ohio State won 24-10. In 2022, it was 52-21. But this is a shadow even of those Wisconsin teams. So, yeah, when I see that number that opened at 27.5, goes down to 24, now is at 25. When I see that, I just think to myself, you have to envision, how is Wisconsin going to score the football? If Iowa beat them 37-0, that's Iowa. How is there a scenario where you give up points? And it feels like, and I think Ryan's does an incredible job of that. Every time he has a media availability, every time on his shows, on Roundtable, on any of that stuff, he has. It's a lot of Saban. Like, it sounds a lot like Saban in his own voice, but it's a lot of the stuff that Saban had to deal with at Alabama, where it doesn't matter what the opponent is or what they do. We're being measured against ourselves. And I do think this team has some stuff that it seems weird to work on things in Big Ten games, but that's a little bit where we are with this one. Is what are some things that you can work on? And one thing that I think we all would like to see a little bit more of is a little bit more in terms of explosiveness in the run game. Ryan Day commented about that. Is there a way to get that thing going a little bit more? Give us a few more home run plays. Here's Ryan on that.
Yeah, no, that would be nice. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, yeah.
I know it would.
Yeah, I know. You're right. It would be nice to hit a long run. We've been very efficient. But to your point, it's something that, would be nice, and we have to keep working on that. And I think when you see the way that we're set up, there are the runs, and then there's the perimeter. And the way that, we're set up, that kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, there's no rule saying that we can't break one of these runs for a big one.
So you mentioned the weather over there. It'll be warm. Looks like high of 71. But a pretty good chance of some rain over there, obviously high humidity. So it seems like it's just going to be, maybe as this game is ending, you get a little bit of light rain is kind of the way that it's going, but it doesn't look like it'll be some sort of monsoon over there or not. And the weather obviously will be warm enough, according to what I'm looking at right here, unless you guys have something that shows something else. But it looks to me like it'll be relatively seasonable there. And you should be able to operate. And for Ohio State, what that's been is winning the surest way. They're not worried about trying to go bing, bong, bong and run up the score. They're definitely not going to do that against Luke. So it'll be about being efficient, getting the win and getting back on the plane and heading home, and then you got the bye week, and then you got Penn State. So at that point, you'll have your march towards the end of the season. But Ryan's saying all the right things. His team is saying all the right things. Will they do the right things on Saturday? Our hunch is yes, that they will, just from the standpoint of how far Wisconsin has fallen. And it's a massive, massive drop from what that program was at its apex, which we can all remember very, very well. One of the most fun times you could ever have as a Blue Jacket fan over the 25 years of this franchise was watching Cam Atkinson put on the Union Blue and put on a show. And he did it a lot. And he's going to do it one more time tonight. He's going to join us on that front coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My sinks gurgled, they barely drained. The toilet overflowed. I plunge all day with no luck. What's wrong with this commode?
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months, or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Save big on everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Atlas Roofing provides the best value in architectural shingles. Atlas shingles feature a limited lifetime warranty and wind resistance up to 130 miles per hour. Plus, their super wide design saves on installation time. Visit us in store or on menards.com and get a free estimate fast on your shingle project with our easy-to-use design program.
Save big money at Menards.
Ryan Day's Buckeyes hit the road for a Big Ten battle with Wisconsin.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday at 10 with the kick at 3:30.
Listen on The Fan. Watch on 10 TV. Your flagship home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You've heard about the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's an old one. My dad told that one to me. But when it's your real feet, it's not a game. It's awful. Hey, it's Anthony. I had pain in my feet and my lower back, so I went to the Good Feet store and got the support I needed in my shoes that changed the game for me. I went in and they personally fit me for arch supports that would be perfect for my feet. The fitting process is simple. They ask the right questions about exactly what I was experiencing and the lifestyle I want to be able to live. They professionally measured my feet and arch size, and before I knew it, I was wearing my new arch supports home. Get back to living the life you love with the Good Feet store. For more than 30 years, they've taken great pleasure in helping thousands discover the comfort they've been dreaming of. I'm a customer. I have their 3-step system put into all of my shoes. Get professionally fitted at the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City. Learn more at goodfeet.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing.
Call 1-800-COOLING.
Earn 2% cash back on purchases and pay 0% APR on balance transfers for 15 months with a new Kemba Financial Credit Union Visa. That's more rewards and less interest. Apply at Kemba.org. For purchases and balance transfers made in the first 90 days, restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Variable and subject to change. Equal opportunity lender expires 10/31/25.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The final season of Yellowstone might just be Bo's dad live on YouTube. What's the difference anyway? This is Bishop and Friends.
Well, it'll be a special night tonight at Nationwide. The club will honor the great Cam Atkinson prior to the game tonight. He will sign a one-day contract that's going to allow him to officially retire as a member of the Columbus Blue Jackets. And he joins us now on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Buddy, I'm pretty sure the first radio interview you ever did was with me and Rothman like 13 years ago. How are you 36 years old? How in the heck are you retiring, man? Life goes fast, buddy.
It sure does, my friend. It sure does. No, it's time flies when you're having fun. What can I say?
What is this? If I were to tell you then, all these years later, you're going to retire a Blue Jacket legend, you're going to sign this thing, how do you look back on the career that was and the impact that you had here?
You know what? It's definitely it's going to be a very humbling experience tonight. I think my emotions are all out of whack, as you can imagine. And clearly and obviously I have a ton of family that are in town right now and still flying to get here, and as well as friends. And honestly, it's every player's dream to play one NHL game and to play over 800 and in the best league in the world. And a lot of those games, obviously, here and at Nationwide Arena in front of the fifth line, it's you can only hope and dream to get one opportunity. But maybe it's something I'll look back upon later on. And but my goal all along was just to help this team win hockey games and just make Columbus and the fans proud.
You provided so many moments. You had a connection with the fan base, buddy, almost immediately. How do you suppose that came about?
Honestly, I think, it's the fans that allow us to play the game that we love. And so, I think I was a fan growing up and still am to this game. And I think when you play in the league, it's your duty to give back any way you're able to, especially when you get given the platform that we all have been given. And it's all about the fans, man.
Your one of the things that, certainly during your playing career, the 13 sweaters were everywhere in the stands. What was it about Columbus that made you say this is going to be home forever?
Yeah, it's no secret, right? When I got drafted back in 2008, all my brothers, when I did get drafted, are like, where the heck is Columbus, Ohio?
Sure.
And rightfully so. It's once I got here and really kind of ingrained in what Columbus is all about and living, and not just playing, but outside world and the way of life. And, obviously started a family, and all three of my kids were born here at Riverside Hospital, and started obviously the Battery Hockey Academy, and just wanted to really find a way to give back to the city that has given me and my family so much, and give these kids obviously an opportunity to fulfill their dreams just like I have. And we've just grown to love it. All our friends, not only in the game, but outside of hockey. It's truly a special that we call home.
Cam, how much, you mentioned the youth hockey on that side of things and the things that you're doing on that side, and you've been so instrumental in that. In terms of where the sport was when you first came here, and your brothers are saying, what the heck's Columbus, Ohio, to where it is now, how would you put that into words, how the sport has grown to what it is now here?
Oh my gosh. It's night and day. When I first got here back in 2011, we had the AAA program, but really there was no other youth programs at the time. And something was definitely missing. And, obviously it takes a winning culture to really change the way I think, hockey's played. And, when you start winning, it's amazing how many boys and girls want to start playing as well. And, that's something that I take a lot of pride in. So I just felt like there was a need there, and still is. I think we're a bunch of ice rinks short here in Columbus, which hopefully will change in the near future. But it's come a long way, and super proud to have started the Battery about 8 years ago, and watch all these kids at an early age develop. And I've always tried to provide them with the best facility, coaches, equipment, anything that I can get my hands on to allow these kids to obviously fulfill their dreams and try to make it to the next level, whether it's, the AAA program or college, and hopefully the NHL one day.
It's crazy that we have kids from Central Ohio now playing in the NHL. We're used to it. I mean, I remember, 25 years ago, there was one piece of ice in town. And so we've come so far. We still have so far to go. This is going to be an incredible night tonight. Talking to Cam Atkinson, retiring as a Columbus Blue Jacket, will be honored tonight in that barn. When you think about your favorite moments at Nationwide, what are some that percolate for you?
Oh, man. I mean, that list goes on and on and on. Some things that kind of pop up, I would say, or when I made the team right out of training camp, I was able to go to the bench and kind of look around Nationwide and call my parents at the time to tell them I made the team. That was obviously very emotional. 3 games in, playing Vancouver Canucks, where my dad was born and raised. Scored my first NHL goal on Corey Schneider, who went to Boston College as well, who said that he felt bad for me, so he let that goal in. And
He's
then,
charitable.
I mean, yeah, seriously. I mean, the list goes on and on. Just our first playoff win in Pittsburgh, obviously the sweep against Tampa, which was probably one of the top of the list. Different goals I've scored along the way. COVID year, I mean, that was crazy times with no fans in the stands. I mean, Jesus, there's scoring 11 seconds in against Pittsburgh at home, and there's just so many. It's so many amazing memories here, and I love it. It's all good,
buddy. That what you just did though, right there, that's a Blue Jacket legend. There's so many you can't even name them. There's so many, and as you're going through it, I'm envisioning, and the audience is envisioning in their head every single one of them, because they were all with you every step of the way, every one of them. And, that's the sweep against Tampa is one of those things that it showed what is capable. And it showed how the way that barn was for those games, still get chills.
Yeah, I just did. It's just, that was arguably the most fun I've had playing hockey my entire life. Just the belief that we had with that team, and what Torts kind of instilled in us, and we all bought in together. And I'll never forget, obviously, in the fourth game when we swept them, and I didn't even have my equipment off at the time, and I think Declan was obviously born, and my Ring camera was going off like every freaking 10 seconds, like ding ding, and it's like there's like a group of 3 to 5 kids each time putting brooms at my front door. And just like I could hear them all in the Ring camera, like, let's go. And it was, this city and this fan base has embraced. I mean, it's a hockey town that people don't realize, and been through a lot of ups and downs in the 10 years that I was here. And I mean, the best times were later on in my time here, but it's just they want us to win, and no matter what, whether you win or lose, they are here and they are diehard fans, and I love the fifth line.
Buddy, I thank you. The city thanks you. The fan base thanks you. Folks, I never saw Cam ever turn down an autograph. I never saw him never give a fist bump to a kid. I never saw him ever not have a smile on his face. You are an example of what hockey can be at its best in this town for a very, very long time, and it's appropriate that you have this night tonight. Enjoy it. Soak it all in, buddy. Enjoy yourself. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it, guys, and I love being on the show. So anytime you need me, I'm always available.
Well, we can bump Shelley time anytime you want. I get tired of him anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cam. Enjoy the night, buddy.
All right, fellas. Thanks.
There he goes. Cam Atkinson, Blue Jacket legend. You're wearing the Cam Sanity, Bake. I mean, that's his inspiration. He was just what the doctor ordered for this franchise when he came up.
He was and is my favorite Blue Jacket of all time. And I really love Marchie. He's going to have to score a lot more goals to surpass number 13, that's for sure.
Yeah, there was a joy, and there will be a joy tonight in the barn when they take on the Avs. We'll open up the mailbag coming up next.
Let's give away those tickets real quick.
Oh gosh,
Bo.
geez, you got to keep me on pace here. Sometimes I miss things. Let's give away those tickets. Hockey is back. Jackets take on the Avs tonight. They take on the Lightning Saturday at Nationwide. Let's go 13th caller at 82197 scoops up the 2 tickets to Saturday's game against the Lightning. Get your tickets now at bluejackets.com. We'll open up the mailbag coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
T-Bone and Tybus are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
The open road feels even better with CME Federal Credit Union. CME wants to beat your current auto loan rate by 1.5% APR and give you a fresh start with no payments for 60 days. Whether it's tailgates, pumpkin patches, or road trips through Ohio's back roads, let CME help you cozy up to savings and make this season one to remember. Terms apply. APR as low as 4.99%. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 10/31. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you're a sports card fan like me, you've got to check out Midwest Cards in the Arena District, right outside Nationwide Arena. These guys are true collectors themselves, and they've built a shop that lets you experience card collecting in a whole new way. They've got sealed boxes, packs, single cards, signed memorabilia, and plenty of TVs in their lounge. Yeah, they have a lounge. And don't forget the card bar, where you can open packs while you have an adult beverage. It's awesome. Stop by Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
The number one problem we see at our clinic is delaying treatment. ED and low T can get worse.
Book your appointment right now. Call 614-300-7400. Prefer privacy? Book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
At our clinics, men's sexual health is the whole job. Look, I'm a normal guy too. I hate going to the doctor, but we've helped so many guys in here just like you. Even if pills have failed, our medical team is going to take the time to talk you through it. Same day in-house lab, and the treatments, well, they could change your life.
Your local medical team has your back. ED, low T, Peyronie's, size, and shape modeling. We tailor what works for you.
I'll get to the point. Can you imagine epic workouts and epic sex? Yeah, I said it.
A stronger you is closer than you think. We're available right now. Call 614-300-7400 or book in 30 seconds or less at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
At Giant Eagle, we're helping bring the holiday magic home. Because your get-togethers bring everyone together. Because you make the holidays feel like the holidays. Because nothing beats free. From October 16th to November 6th, spend $350 and earn a free turkey on your next visit. Redeem through November 30th. Giant Eagle, because it matters. Must scan My Perks loyalty card to earn and redeem. Restrictions apply. Visit gianteagle.com for details.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual reliable joint.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any 4-tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $200 more. See store for details.
At Retail Rush, you can find name brand products at unbeatable prices because you set the price. Retail Rush sources overstocked, returned, and discontinued products in bulk from big box stores. Then we auction those products online starting at $5. You can get up to 90% off retail prices on beautiful basics for life's big moments, hot tech, and more at a deep discount. Pickup is fast and easy, so whether you're looking to splurge or save, we have you covered. Retail Rush. Deals made easy. Bid now at retailrush.com.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The Blue Jackets are giving Cam Atkinson a one-day contract so he can retire as a member of the organization that drafted him in the 5th round back in 2008. The CBJ will honor Atkinson before playing the Colorado Avalanche tonight at Nationwide. It's the second of a 3-game homestand. Elvis Merzlikins gets the nod in net Thursday. Face-off there 7 p.m. You can hear it on the Fan with coverage at 6:30. Jackets are going to host the Lightning on Saturday. In the NFL tonight, Week 7 begins in Cincinnati. The Bengals host the Steelers at 8:15. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's at Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. Buckeyes are 25.5-point favorites. Lorenzo Styles and Edric Houston likely to return for the Silver Bullets. Hear from OSU's head coach today at noon on the Ryan Day Radio Show. This update is sponsored by Green & Sons, family owned and operated for over 45 years. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville in Raymond.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
Well, it's that time of the program. Time to open up that mailbag. Hit it, fellas.
Our comment box is always open. Any feedback is mostly appreciated.
The mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more. You got to get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in.
Bishop and Friends present emails.
Yeah, full boat of them again this week. We'll get to as many as we can. We start with Robert. The subject is why private equity is bad for Ohio State and what to do. He writes, after saying some kind things about us, which we appreciate. Number 1, private equity invests to get money. The money gotten now has to be more than paid later for private equity to invest. It could work without hurting Ohio State if dormant programs, Nebraska, USC, invest properly and thus add new brands, provide more revenue for the Big Ten, but that requires competence or concern with competing that many programs haven't shown and is not reasonable to count on. Thus, private equity investments likely to hurt everyone in the future because the PE investment will have to take money that would have gone to the schools currently. Number 2, the schools that have the most need can't use PE to get it without onerous conditions because they don't have any assets or promise of future revenue worth investment. The only way they get money for financial problems is to sell the future revenue of established brands like Ohio State and Michigan and bind them to the league so that the league is assured of having their revenue to draw from. This binding has problems. The ACC's issues are partially due to insufficient revenue and partly that the broadcast agreement grant of rights requires them to drown together. Number 3, the schools advocating this agreement are willing to sell the league for their financial benefit. While it is hostile, the response from Ohio State, Michigan that might preserve the league is to threaten to leave it if such agreement is enacted. Without the revenue from established brands, there is no assurance of future revenue or growth from PE to draw from, which would kill the plan. It is hostile, but this plan is hostile as well. Binding the schools that make you money so that you can continue to be incompetent or uncompetitive is hostile. What do you think? Thank you. I've said many of these things, Robert, and I agree with it 1,000%. I don't think Ohio State should have any interest in this. I don't think Michigan should either. I don't think that either of those programs, or for that matter, Penn State and USC and Oregon, should cast their financial lot with some of the teams in this league. But the question is, guys, is Ohio State willing to do something it almost never does, which is say, no, we're going to look out for ourselves here.
Does feel like they've got some friends, one in a high place, one in a low place, and talking about Michigan that are on board with any and all doubts for this private equity and for getting in bed with them. So that helps because then you've got three of the most powerful voices, I think, in any Big Ten room, Ohio State, Michigan, and USC, saying we're really not thrilled with the direction that this could take us into. 2046, you're going to be in bed with Rutgers, UCLA, and some other really poor decision makers. Like, these are historically bad decision makers that you want to get in bed with for the next 20 years so that you can get a quick infusion of cash.
Yeah.
It sounds horrible coming out of my mouth. It sounds horrible reading. I can't imagine if you're of any intelligence at all, you look at that and go, sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. And I think Ohio State is too.
I think so, right?
That's how Top Gun Ted and Ross are here to change kind of that.
We all have decisions in our life, right, where it's like, well, this might be better for my now, but it's not better for my future.
Yeah.
And I think that's the case in this for a lot of people, but for Ohio State, it's not better in any instance.
No.
So I hope that they and Michigan and USC and maybe a couple others will say absolutely not.
This one from Shannon. In the past couple of weeks, you and the boys have stated that you are comfortable with Ohio State winning in NFL style. Do you truly have such confidence that our offense can operate a 2-minute win or lose drive at the end of a game without having experience playing from behind or needing to send a couple of bombs down the field toward the sidelines? I agree that we do not need to stomp on a team and win by 25 plus, but I do believe that any team needs to practice deep throws, whether under pressure or not, to be sure they have the play and the timing down. Please don't say that they're going against the best competition in practice. They are. Even if this is the case, they know each other's tendencies, which is a good point. I'd be more comfortable with seeing it successfully executed in an official game against other competition. There's some fair points to that. I think that's why Ryan gets so hot over the middle eight. He really puts so much of an emphasis on going to try to get points right before half and then scoring right away out of half. And so I think he's doing some of what you're talking about here, Shannon. And I think that's where he's trying to use those things. That said, I'm not going to manufacture a deficit just to try to come from behind.
So I understand the point. I get it. I will say that Ohio State had a pressure-packed game against Texas, right? Where everything kind of mattered. And it's not like they're not doing that every game. Like, we saw them do it against Minnesota. We saw them do it against Ohio a little bit. Now, those weren't come-from-behind, nail-biter type situations. That's why I'm kind of bummed, to be honest, about the direction Penn State has taken here in their last three games, because I think you'd like that tough test, right? Coming up, and then you can say what you want, but the game against that team up north at the end of the month in Ann Arbor, and the end of November in Ann Arbor, that's always a tough game regardless. You know, that's always going to be a game where talent kind of equates, and listen, they've won 4 straight. You've got to get this one. So you're going to get that kind of pressure-packed situation for Ohio State coming down the stretch. I think we will see Ohio State practice the deep ball here in this game this week a little bit.
Yeah, just in looking at this Wisconsin team, like, they've got a defensive back that's still trying to argue for eligibility to play in Madison. They had a defensive back just leave and go to Miami in the offseason. Like, they can't hang almost anywhere with this Ohio State team. And so I think it would be foolish not to try to open it up and get those reps against teams that are in other uniforms, that are in, especially, man, I keep doing the thing where I go back and think of Wisconsin of old. That'll be a tough place to play at. This won't be that. But Illinois was.
Yeah, I think there's going to be tens of thousands of emphasis, I guess. She also passes along a pickup line for NBC. You're like a math test. Why? Because you had me checking you out over and over. She also says, I have a couple of more, but maybe I'll try them on bake.
I thought she was going to say,
Spicy.
I thought she was going to say, because you're hard to solve. That's how I feel.
Maybe that's the next one.
Most of them.
Maybe that's the next one.
You're like a math test because I can't understand you. Like, I don't know if that does it.
Here's this one from Gregory. Penn State game. Hey, Bo, go Bucks. So since Penn State is a train wreck, any chance that Fox passes on the November 1st game being big noon? A slim chance. I don't think so. I think they're going to take Buckeyes. The other option would be USC, Nebraska if they both win this week. But I still think you take Buckeyes. I think it's the sure thing. But we'll see on that. This one from Brian. The subject is subs. 10 seconds left on the play clock should be deadline of subbing. No subs allowed in the last 10 seconds. Didn't they used to have a rule like that?
Yeah, tell Bert that.
I felt like, yeah, no
They
kidding.
used to call delay a game on the defense if they just took their time with the substitutions. And I think the rule got changed because of player safety.
Yeah. This one from Jeff. Illinois D-backs. Illinois secondary was decimated by injuries, losing 6 of their top 7 defensive backs to injury or ejection during the 2025 game against Indiana. Multiple starters were unavailable. Then he goes ahead and lists them. I can only assume that Jeff is Fish's burner. This is very, very much an Illini perspective. No, Jeff and Fish. I think Illinois should be ranked. We talked about that earlier in the week. They should be ranked. All right, this one from Ross. The subject is shame. Never know what you're going to get with these. Love the segment about radio calls heard throughout your life and following conversation about the narrative of your sports life. I think one of the best of my lifetime is Kevin Harlan's LeBron James with no regard for human life. I can remember Van Pelt and others using that line on SportsCenter for putts and other inconsequential events in sports, which was amazing. Also, shame on all of you supposed Guardians fans. So this is for you, Reese. Nothing gets a smile on my face or my juices flowing like a swing and a drive to deep left, way back gone, or a good old-fashioned ball game in any Guardians game. Hammy would be my narrative choice for all sports. Love Ross and loves the show. Thanks, Ross.
He's right. I mean, the down goes Anderson call a couple of years ago from the White Sox game where Jose Ramirez knocked out Tim Anderson. Like, they're all, Hammy's the greatest of all time. I just, in the moment, had Fred McLeod's call of the Cavaliers winning the title in my mind.
This isn't the trial of Reese. We get the trial of Paul coming up here in about 20 minutes or so. This one from Robert. Calls I remember, great topic. The best has to be the O2 radio call from Paul and Jim of the national title. Like many Buckeye fans, I've been waiting my whole life for that moment. A close second was Matt Vasgersian's call on Frankie Lindor's grand slam against the Yankees. I was actually in line for the bathroom at the Jackets opener, and some guy had it on his phone. Lindor with a swing and a drive, and it's gone. Santa Maria, the Tribe, ended up winning on a John Gomes walk-off single in the 13th. By that time, we listened to Tom Hamilton's call on the radio on the drive home. A couple more real quickly here. This one from the great Snagglepuss. Let's have fun since you and Rothdog have this heat dispute going on, to which Rothdog, being an IU alum and you being best friends with Jimmy Haslam, start telling the airwaves. I'm going to campaign Cignetti to the Browns. I Google him. He wins everywhere. Let's get him to Cleveland. We don't need him at IU. He will be a thorn in Ohio State's side, and Heat is a top 50 movie of all time. Thank you. I agree on that.
Who knew we'd get so much run from Heat?
It's unreal. Yeah, it was on Saturday night. I watched for about an hour of it. Couple of bank heist movies. Anytime. We're not here for your money. We're here for the bank's money. I'm in. Brandon with this. The subject is Arch Manning. Look up Steve Spurrier's Arch Manning clip. He nails it. Arch is literally just a product of his last name. Couldn't beat out for 2 years a 7th-round pick. Arch has done absolutely nothing to deserve all the hype. He also didn't ask for it. He didn't ask for it. Like, he did the right things. He stayed at Texas. Maybe that's why I'm sympathetic. Like, my kids can't stand him either because they think he's being, quote, glazed. Like, dude, he didn't ask for it. He stayed at Texas. He hasn't played well, and he's taken a lot of slings and arrows for it. But it's not like he was chasing money, and they didn't need it. I get it. But it's not like he was trying to be a starter or demanding to start right away. He waited his time, and he just hasn't played very, very well. A bunch more email to get to. Paul Finebaum coming up in 17 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. Just freak the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Want to have an impact on your community?
Join the Franklin County Sheriff's Office.
It's one of the highest paying law enforcement agencies in Ohio.
Make change happen in the community.
In the lives of others.
And in your own life.
Apply at sheriff.franklincountyohio.gov.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, rich stuffing, and cranberry sauce. Add a side of warm, savory gravy for ultimate holiday comfort. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've got a problem at Pella.
I like where this is going.
Because of Pella's reputation and quality, a lot of folks assume that we're out of budget.
Oh, I hate hearing.
But we've actually got 5 awesome window lines that fit any budget, from the $300,000 to the $3 million home, and far from the most expensive.
So you actually don't have a problem. Awesome.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
This ain't one of them, Timmy.
It's not the show, it's a spot. All October, we're watching our football team on Saturdays and the tailgate buffet.
Ooh, Mikey likey. Plus, they've got the 3 apps for $12 deal, and you can beat the crowds and reserve a table.
Yes, do that at HollywoodColumbus.com. And we got a special offer this month. Become a new member of our rewards program on the ESPN Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A government shutdown affects everybody. It means missed paychecks for our troops. It means delays for critical services for ordinary Americans. And it disrupts the work Congressman Mike Carey does to deliver results for his constituents. Like voting for the Social Security Fairness Act to get public servants like police, firefighters, and teachers their full Social Security benefits on time and without delay. Mike Carey also voted for a continuing resolution to keep the government open while budget negotiations continue. It passed the House with bipartisan support, but failed to pass the Senate, and the government still shuddered. Congressman Mike Carey urges our senators to put politics aside and reopen our government before innocent Americans are harmed further by the shutdown. To learn more about Congressman Mike Carey's bipartisan efforts to reopen our government, call Congressman Carey's office at 614-927-6902 or visit carey.house.gov.
Paid for with official funds from the office of Mike Carey.
Wake up and laugh with the Bob and Tom Show on the Fan 2.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
It says here they've won 5 Marconi Awards. I can't even spell Marconi. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Bob and Tom Show.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you pick match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Helping a new driver get ready for their road test? Here's a convenient new way to make the most of your 50 hours of required practice driving time. The Road Ready Ohio app. Available now at no cost to new drivers and their families. Road Ready Ohio keeps track of your driving experience together, providing feedback and safe driving tips. It even generates the documentation you need for the Ohio BMV. The Road Ready Ohio app. Free to download in the Apple and Google App Stores.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. We'll warm up through the 50s and into the 60s by lunchtime and stay in the 60s this afternoon. Plenty of sunshine, clear skies tonight. Could see a little patchy frost by early Friday. We'll see temperatures back in the 60s Friday as clouds increase. We'll be near 80 Saturday before showers and storms return for Sunday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. New special guests in everything scarlet and gray. The Fan. Find us on YouTube. Search WBNS Radio and you can see what Bo looks like. But only if you subscribe. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is, and we are proudly sponsored and brought to you by our great friends at Diamond Cellar, your true jeweler for over 78 years. Buckeye Jewelry starting at just $99. 2 locations, Sawmill, Easton. Check them out. They're great people. They will take care of you, I promise. on that. Lots more in the mailbag. Let's continue with this one from Nick. It's a long one, but I do think this point is one. We have the Columbus Aviators coming to town. You see Cardale Jones is involved in it, and they have their big welcome press conference and all of it. His thought is this: wouldn't it be better for the UFL, specifically a team like the Columbus Aviators, to be a AAA team for the AFC North or a AAA regional team? NFL divisions have 4 teams, so pick a city that just makes sense, and 4 teams send guys who need development to that team. I mean, whatever the system is, I haven't thought about specifics, but to me, it makes more sense if teams literally team up together for this. Well, what if all 4 teams send their backup quarterbacks? That's where things like Mason Rudolph has 5+ years of pro experience. He does not have to participate. Or if players play in 60% of a team's offensive, defensive snaps, he does not have to participate. I don't think you'd have trouble there. I think guys would want to play. I think they would love to play more games. Like, I assure you this, Shedeur Sanders would love to play more games. He'd love to. I don't think it matters to him if it were in Cleveland. Obviously, it would be preferred. But he would love to play more games in the spring and not have less practices. Here's the other thing. So would the teams. There is only one thing that is stopping, in my opinion, there's only one thing that is stopping the NFL from doing this and subsidizing the UFL. You probably could have done it with Canadian football at one point, but the UFL makes the most sense now. And the only thing I think stopping it is the NFL doesn't want to be on the hook for all of this. They don't want to be on the hook for paying for all of this stuff. So if it could be self-sufficient, but then send their players, I think there's value there. One of the things that you consistently get from NFL coaches and general managers is, especially in regard to the guys who are drafted in the middle rounds or the back rounds, is there's just not enough reps for them, especially at quarterback. That once you get out of training camp, you are preparing for the team that you play that week. And if you are a scout team player, you're a practice squad player, you're running the other team's offense. And they need more reps. These young quarterbacks need more reps. I think that is how now these guys were all at the top, so I don't know if you'd even send them to the UFL anyway, but that's how Baker happens. That's how Sam Darnold happens. That's how Danny Dimes happens. That's at the highest level where they got long runways where they were drafted and then given up on, and then other places gave up on them, and eventually they find landing spots years later. But just think of all the 2nd through 7th round quarterbacks who didn't get that runway. And we don't know if they can play or not. It is so, the Brock Purdy thing, that is 1 in a billion. Last pick in the draft to, in one training camp, elevate to starting quarterback in a training camp. Do you know how hard that is at the NFL level to have enough reps to make an impression to start? And good on Kyle for noticing it, spotting it, identifying it, starting him, going with it. It obviously worked. But, man, that's tough. So I would love to see it, and I think you could just run a basic offense with everybody. What you basically just need is, I don't think you'd have to worry about trade secrets or anything like that. I think you just run basic offense, basic defense, and away you go.
I mean, everybody's from everybody's coaching tree at this point, right? Yeah. So you're not doing anything that, you're not really doing anything that hasn't been seen or done before. Like, I'm all for this idea where you not only have quarterbacks, but you have valuable offensive line reps. So you can actually develop guys when they get out of college for NFL schemes. Everybody wins, but the money's got to be there. That's new money because, the NFL is not just going to give more money for that.
The NFL has had such a perfect setup with a minor league that was free for them for so long. I wonder how much longer, though, they're going to be able to keep that up with college football and the way it's all going and everything without trying to help out with this. I don't understand why the NFL hasn't gotten involved with these spring leagues before for that very reason. Like, hey, we have this many guys on our practice squad, and some of them are sometimes young guys that they want to develop into something. Let's send them down to these places, let them learn a little bit, get more reps, have them run a system kind of similar. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me why this hasn't happened before.
He brings up a great point, too, because you have 8 divisions. Just go a team for each division. 8 teams.
Yeah.
Have every division team feed into one another. Those practice squad players swap teams all the times anyway. I mean, it happens all the time. So it's like there's no trade secrets.
I mean, hell, the Browns traded their starting quarterback to a team within division this couple weeks ago. So
there's a kid named Corey Strange who is going to start at right guard for the Dolphins this week and has played great. He was on the Browns practice squad for like a week.
That's the kid from Minnesota or New England, right?
Yeah, he was a former first-round pick.
So
yeah, and so like it's. I don't think it would be that. I just think the NFL doesn't want to subsidize anything else, but I do think a partnership would make all the sense in the world. I know coaches and GMs would want it.
Real quick, Bo, before we get to our next email, we just talked about this a little the last segment with the calls, and the caller mentioned Tom Hamilton, and Reese mentioned this one. Bad job out of me for not having it ready, but this is my favorite hammy ever.
And another hustle double right over the bag at first. Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
So good.
They came up chewing. Anderson squared off. Hosey decked him. And Tim Anderson was on the wrong side of that punch.
I love that he calls him Hosey.
Hosey.
Literally knocked Tim Anderson out of Major League Baseball, or out of being a perceived superstar in the MLB. I also wonder for the feeder system or the spring league into the NFL idea of coaches could also develop better in the UFL and then make the transition to the NFL, because you're seeing so many guys are just thrown in these situations like, I don't know what to do.
Man, that's a great call out of you. Hot young coordinator, go there, coach a team. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, no, I think it should be. Embrace all of it. This one from Brian, Odell Beckham Jr. and James Franklin. Don't know if this is a good subject for your weekly email segment or better suited for summer doldrums when you can spiral deep in the weeds on the matter. It is a debate I have had with myself on countless occasions. With the firing at Penn State, it seems like a good time as any to pick it up publicly. Who was able to get more out of a single play? Odell Beckham Jr. in the three-finger catch in 14 or James Franklin in the blocked field goal versus Ohio State in 16? OBJ's catch became one of the early internet YouTube sensations among kids, leading to widespread exposure and fandom among non-ardent NFL followers. While still an excellent receiver, did his performance ever live up to the hype preceding him? Continues. Franklin was on the hot seat at the time in 16. If my memory hasn't failed, in the early 40s. Suddenly, he was a conference champion-level coach. He has leveraged that while flirting with open positions. It's a very good point. Is this a debate of OBJ's overall fame gains versus Franklin's career gains? What do you think about that?
I was going to say OBJ, but it's probably Penn State. Because they went from preseason nothing, preseason nobody, to by that time they're getting the others receiving votes category. And then they propped all the way up into the top 5. And then you're kind of able to forget everything that had happened before Franklin. It's a really good question because both of those two, yes, I think had a moment or two that made it seem like this is the greatest thing ever. This guy, this OBJ, greatest receiver ever. This James Franklin, greatest coaches ever. Not the case, but because of those instances, yeah.
It's very interesting because I've heard people bring that up, that 16 win over Ohio State for Franklin, and he probably would have been out the door back then if he didn't win that game, some people have said and thought. I guess I never really thought about it like that. I can't believe, though, that game saved his job and he didn't win another big game, and he lasted 9 more seasons.
Well, because
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, he just did enough.
The OBJ thing, I was one that always said, like, there was a lot of fluff there and no substance. Like, people loved his highlight catches, but I didn't think he did a lot of things to help that team win. And I know he came in here because the Browns needed some more receiver threats to Cleveland. He came into Cleveland, and he was Jarvis Landry's buddy and all that. But I feel like he did a lot worse for Cleveland than he did good.
Yeah, it's funny. He was unbelievable in the building. Great teammate. Teammates loved him. He was a really gracious with the other people who worked in the building up there. At one point, everybody got his shoe. He had a signature shoe at one point, and he gave everybody in the building a shoe. Like, employees, everything, not just teams. So he did that type of stuff. Here's the thing about Odell's fame. When the Browns acquired him, Zagura and I did an emergency podcast on it, and it was the #1 sports podcast in the world within a couple of hours. The next morning, woke up, it was #1 above everything. And then the other thing about him that I remember is his social media following was double the size of the next biggest in the NFL at the time the Browns acquired him. He was like $28 million. Brady was second at like 13 or 12. That's how popular he was at the time of acquisition.
Ricky Fowler was the most popular social media golfer in the world too, and
oh no, for
just
sure,
saying.
for sure. It is. I think that's why it's a really good job out of the emailer. The trial of Paul Finebaum in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Tri-State Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum, sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
So it usually happens on a Saturday morning or Saturday night, Mr. Finebaum. I will get either an email or a slew of social media notifications. The one that I got this Friday says, are you still going to have him on your platform? And I'm thinking to myself, well, I think Paul's got enough of platforms, so it's probably you're going to hear him regardless. But we do have to have a little bit of the trial of Paul Finebaum here. Mr. Finebaum, on your program, I believe Friday, did you use the following words to describe Ohio State fans? Obnoxious, disgusting, despicable, sniveling, supercilious.
But let me start by saying I don't want to sound like a politician. I'm a talk show host, as you well know. So I will simply lay it out to you exactly what happened. And I think that's the only way. And the audience wants to find me guilty. That is entirely up to them. I was sitting in Columbia, Missouri, doing a talk show. I think a guest had to be moved, so we took some phone calls. A guy called up and said, I've got a couple of words for Ohio State fans, and I don't remember what the pretext was. He said they're Weasley or whatever. I said, hey, I'm a writer. I can do better than that. So I spit out a slew of synonyms. Now, I understand exactly how it came out because, I do sit in airports and keep up with social media. I said all that. I admit that. The context is that we were having some fun. I was having some fun. I realize that Ohio State fans, want my head, and they're certainly entitled to that.
You've also gone at look. You're equal opportunity. Right? I mean, that's kind of the way that it goes. Well, the one thing that makes that you're probably not a whole lot of sniveling from Buckeye fans around the country. We don't get a lot of it here because, quite frankly, we think this is the best team in the country with the highest ceiling. We're halfway through this thing. If you go back to the beginning of the season, my friend, we would have had Texas in there, would have had Penn State in there, would have had Clemson in there. They're all gone. Texas maybe showed some sign of life, but my hunch is that they'll go back to not having any very, very soon when you look at their schedule. And yet here the Buckeyes remain. What is it about this program right now, Paul, that has allowed for them to kind of be impervious to the pitfalls that have fell others?
Well, because they have, I think right now they're the best team in the country. They're the most complete team. And I think they have been able to navigate a difficult but not impossible schedule. And this going out to the West Coast was not easy. I think were they in Illinois last week? I'm trying to remember.
Illinois. Yep.
I mean, these are good opponents, but I don't think, and this will sound very typical of an SEC honk, that they've had to play a gauntlet like some of the other teams. By the way, I think they're very capable of surviving that. But I think the schedule has been helpful to them, and getting off to the fast start, finding out who they are, has also been. But having said all that, I'll say this continually: they have played better than anyone else, and the only school I can't really do a fair comparison test is Miami, but I can tell you right now they're better than anybody I've seen in the SEC.
Yeah, they have been. And I think some of the thing, and you and I touched on this a little bit last week, because even now I look at the AP Top 25 and, for whatever, we use them as kind of guidelines of how good all of these teams are. And I see for whatever reason, Washington not ranked. It took, USC had to really take care of Michigan to get back to rank. Nebraska finally comes in. There is some things that the Big Ten is battling from a branding standpoint, not at the top. I mean, Ohio State, Oregon, and we'll get to Indiana in a second. They've obviously taken care of business and they're properly represented. But some of that second-tier Big Ten is having a hard time getting the rest of the country to pay attention to it. And I think it's something that in NIL we're just going to have to get used to, that some of these big state U's up here, Paul, have a lot of money to throw around and can flip things pretty quickly.
True. And listen, I know Indiana's been mentioned a few thousand times this week on your airwaves, but that is exactly right. But overall, though, the league is really quirky this year. Now, you can't explain Penn State. We were all told, and one of the few things I think I got right this year was I didn't buy into that when Heather Dinnish and all my friends at ESPN tried to tell me they were the most complete and best team in the country and would be the national champion. That was hard for me to ever buy. So that hurts, because now every game with Penn State no longer really looks to be a main attraction. And after that, I think Southern Cal is looking pretty good. That helps every matchup. But there's a lot of holes in the league as well.
Yeah, there are. I think all these leagues do. I think that what we have is kind of some parity. You mentioned Penn State. How good of a job is that from your perspective? Will that be the best job that's open this year?
On paper it is. I'm not that sold on it. I know all the usual talking heads talk, but to me, Penn State is just, if James Franklin couldn't do it, I wonder who can. And I'm not the biggest James Franklin fan, but he was certainly competent, and he had the support. So he was never able to quite get to that top tier with Michigan and Ohio State. So I don't think it's a top 5 job. I think it's certainly a good job, though. But to me, it just seems a little. I'm not saying it's Nebraska like yesteryear, because I'm well aware of what they did a year ago, and a lot of schools have never gotten to the Final Four. But I don't see it in the same league as Ohio State, though.
No, I don't either. I think it's in that next rung behind the true blue Cadillac jobs, of which there's 5 or 6 of them. And I think they're just below that. But I do think one thing that happened there, that I was talking to a buddy of mine who's influential down in the Florida State program, and he goes, man, I'd kill to be able to do that. And I said, do what? He goes, have enough money to do a $50 million buyout while renovating a stadium to the tune of $700 million and paying $40 million for a roster. Like, we don't have that type of money. And I think that's the type of thing that the Big Ten needs to do a better job of, is flexing the financial might that a lot of these institutions have. Certainly the A&Ms, the Texases, there's plenty down there that have it. But it might be a differentiating factor between the two leagues going forward here, Paul.
It could. And what's really interesting, Bo, before I even get to that, is a year ago, all the pundits were saying because of rev share, because of all these things, coaches are safer than they've ever been. Completely wrong. The one thing about the Big Ten that I will say I'm speaking to you today from Birmingham, Alabama, so I'm pretty well vested in the heart of the SEC, is that there is concern down here about what's happening up there with private equity. I don't think anybody completely understands what's happening, but nothing is happening here yet. So I will, if the Big Ten wins the championship again this year, and right now they're the favorite, then I think there is going to be a lot of nervousness. Now, what does that translate to? I don't know, because Texas is not overly concerned about what Alabama is doing, and likewise, but it is going to send a chill through the South. I can assure you of that.
Well, if Ohio State has their way, that won't happen. And I think it's one of those rare instances where Ohio State and Michigan say, hey, we're not going to cast our lot with the rest of these guys. We're not signing up for this for the next 20 plus years. In terms of the biggest game that you have down there this week is a top 10 matchup that'll take place in Athens. Lane Kiffin is the gift that keeps on giving. Some great comments with Kirby, and obviously they go back and forth from their time on Saban's staff. Is this a type of a game for Lane? I mean, he gets Ole Miss, but now he gets LSU. Now he's sitting here in Athens on 3:30 against a Georgia team. If he wins this one, and they were shaky last week against Washington State, what's your read on that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go against Georgia, although they have been a hard team to watch this year, Bo. I mean, they literally could have 3 losses. They could have lost Alabama. One bad call by Kirby. They beat Tennessee in a game they had no business winning. And the Auburn game, I know a lot of people may have just said, hey, I looked at the score, it was 20-10. Auburn literally scored a touchdown on the goal line that the refs made the worst call I've ever seen. They would have gone up 17-0 and they would have won the game. So I think they're very fragile. A loss to Ole Miss is going to put them in an impossible situation. But I like Georgia to win. I've just watched Kirby Smart too many times wiggle his way out. Kiffin won the game last year in Athens. But to me, this feels like a Georgia win. And then there's the other game, which I'm going to be at, and that's Tennessee at Alabama, which the loser of the game really has problems because that's 2 losses. The winner is in great shape.
True or false, the winner of the SEC will have 2 losses this year?
I think it's true because there's almost no wiggle room. The real what you're going to hear a lot down here is certain schools, mainly Texas, are going to say we belong in at 9-3, and I think Texas is right if they end up at 9-3.
If they can get there, yeah. Good stuff as always. I think you're not guilty for now, buddy. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much.
There it goes. Paul Finebaum, the Paul Finebaum Show on ESPN and the SEC Network. If you actually listen to the clip, that kind of went viral on Friday, I think what he just did there makes sense with it. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Columbus, the Blue Jackets schedule is out. And you can lock in your seats with ticket plans starting at just 11 games. Don't miss a moment of the action. Visit BlueJackets.com.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron, what are we going to do with these 41 new trucks you bought?
Those extra trucks are to make sure that we can always send someone to the rescue when a customer needs us.
Plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians to the rescue.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna keep you warm all winter HVAC technicians.
Get Eco.
Aaron, you bought those 41 new trucks at exactly the right time.
I know, Jerry, because everyone, everywhere, is needing help with their furnace right now.
Summertime is when furnaces develop problems.
The contacts and relays and sensors get all wonky.
Because summertime is when furnaces are not being used.
And our technicians can unwonk them.
Get Eco.
If you need someone to unwonk your furnace, get Eco.
Our technicians can unwonk anything.
And with 41 new trucks, they can get there fast. Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna keep you warm all winter HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
It's officially fall at Firehouse Subs. The Thanksgiving turkey sub is back. This sub brings all the flavors of the Thanksgiving table into one crave-worthy bite. Stacked high with premium carved turkey, rich stuffing, and cranberry sauce. Add a side of warm, savory gravy for ultimate holiday comfort. Hurry to Firehouse Subs today and try the Thanksgiving turkey sub before it's gone. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last. Planning a tailgate or game day spread? Firehouse Subs Catering makes it easy to feed the whole crew.
Nothing beats a cold one on game day. Lately, I've been grabbing Go Brewing. It's a non-alcoholic craft beer that actually tastes like beer, and you can snag it right now at Kroger in Columbus. Check it out next time you're in the beer aisle. Go Brewing at Kroger, and visit gobrewing.com/thefan for a special BOGO offer.
Hey friends, Beamer here. In the spirit of Halloween, Awaken 180 is offering free consultations. Learn how scary fast and how scary easy losing weight can be. For mine, I brought all the questions, and in the end, Awaken 180 was an absolute no-brainer for me. Determine if Awaken 180 is right for you. The free consultations end October 31st. Reserve by phone only at 844-346-1800. For details and the number, visit awaken180weightloss.com. Scary easy with scary fast results.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a Thursday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Yesterday afternoon, friend of the program and ESPN's Pittsburgh Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor reported players from the Steelers and the Browns expressed outrage and concerns to the NFLPA about the embarrassing playing surface last weekend at Acrisure Stadium. Some players said the field, which is already scheduled to be restarted after the game, was dry. Steelers offensive lineman Broderick Jones was one of multiple players who said they kicked up chunks of grass and they made explosive movements. NFL spokesperson Brian McCarthy said Wednesday the NFL's been in touch with both the union and the club, which has taken steps to replace the grass surface. Cam Hayward was disappointed. He said he likes grass, but that was not grass for playing. Special teams captain of Pittsburgh, Miles Killebrew, suffered a significant non-contact knee injury as he planted on the turf in that game. The field's already being redone for next weekend, but both Pitt and the Steelers are going to be using the field. Pitt hosts NC State next Saturday. The Steelers have the Packers on Sunday Night Football. Thing or not a thing?
There's not much bad you can say about that operation in Pittsburgh. I mean, they just kind of do everything right and have for really my whole life. This is a joke. Like, if you're going to take rent, my guess is Pitt must pay him rent. I don't know what the agreement is on this. But if you're going to do this, then unfortunately, and I'm not for this either, this has to be field turf. You just have to go to field turf. Like, you can't have a situation like this. This is an embarrassment. And so either say no to everybody playing on it other than you, unless it was part of the money that Pitt was going to use it as well, and so they have a right to it as well, which very well could be the case. Cole would know this for sure. But that is something that you'd have to figure out. But that's a joke that they're playing over there at this time of year with a field that torn up. That ain't right. And then you worry about, does the sod come in quick enough to have that type of use next weekend? I mean, this is the National Football League, for crying out loud. Like, you can't have these circumstances.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that the National Football League would let this happen because, especially when we're supposedly worried about injuries so much, that you're having a turf like this, especially when there was no real weather issues. Like, there's sometimes when there's weather issues and there's nothing you can do about it. You heard the clip about Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, even though when it got into November and December, they would have issues, but they had guys that were experts in this and could come in and make the field playable for them. And the crazy thing is, this isn't the first time that this has happened in Pittsburgh. So this is definitely a thing, something they're going to have to get fixed. Speaking of field conditions, I saw this, somebody had posted this on Twitter yesterday. It was an old clip of the USC Notre Dame game, the Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart game with the push that Brady Quinn. That grass at Notre Dame's field was so thick. I love that when the teams do that gamesmanship and they're like, hey, this team's really fast. Let's just grow our grass really long. Let's make it U.S. Open-like conditions and slow them down. I couldn't believe how thick that field was. Yeah, it was amazing.
It was like the rough at Jack's Place Memorial Week.
Dublin Scioto alum and South Florida head coach Alex Golish joined Bobby Carpenter and Jacob Hester on Off Campus earlier this week on Sirius XM. Bobby and Jacob asked him if he saw his name popping up in coaching rumors.
I've not thought about it for 1 second. I think maybe because I'm not smart enough to be able to think about something else. I've never been able to think about anywhere or anything else other than what I'm doing. And I think part of that is just how I've been brought up and how I operate. I'm so process driven. To be honest with you, this 20 minutes I'm on the phone with you guys is totally jacking my day up. But I've learned I got to do that, so I got to adjust my process a little bit. But I don't think about it. I legitimately couldn't care less at this point. We've got so much awesome things going on here. We're moving in such a cool direction. Never thought about it.
Thing or not a thing?
Well, he's clearly a head coach. He may not do that type of stuff very often as he did with Bob and Jacob on Off Campus, but he's clearly well versed in being a head coach, because that was a bunch of coach speak gobbledygook is what that was. Simple old me, I can only do one task at a time. I'm not seeing, oh, he's lying. Of course he is. Like, are you kidding? Penn State's open? Yeah, you've heard it. There's probably been a conversation, but he played it perfectly. That's coaching 101 right there. He aced it.
I love this dude's story. I can't believe, we didn't realize it before now. Just his story and being a local product. Like, his first coaching gig was coaching the D-line at Westerville Central. And then he goes to Ohio State for college, becomes a student assistant, meets Tim Beckman there. I believe their paths overlapped. And then Beckman gets the D.C. job at Oklahoma State. He becomes a grad assistant out there, follows him to Toledo and Illinois, and then he goes to Iowa State, UCF, Tennessee as the offensive coordinator at those two places, and now what he's doing with South Florida. You remember when John Harbaugh became a head coach as just a special teams coordinator, and everybody was like, maybe this is a thing because the special teams coordinator works with the whole team, not just half of the team. And at a lot of these stops, Golish has been the recruiting coordinator. And I wonder if that may be something people should look for moving forward in a head coach, is somebody that has worked with the recruiting side of things and the coordinator and would have dealt with all of these players. I don't know if there's something to it. Maybe Alex Golish has just a dude and he was always going to be a great head coach and just has it. But I wonder if we'll look at that moving forward, recruiting coordinators and seeing some of those guys becoming head coaches.
I mean, if you were smart, you'd hire Pantoni to do that if he wanted to.
I feel like he's good here.
Oh, no, I don't want him going anywhere. But, like, if you were a program, start there.
This is, I think, the probably second or third time this year I've thought about the Winter Olympics, which begin in February in Milan. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman expressed concern Wednesday over delays in the construction of the ice hockey arena, the Milano Santa Giulia Arena, which is the intended main hockey site for Milan's Olympics. Speaking at the Board of Governors meeting, Bettman was reacting to a report from the AP out of Milan that a test event that was scheduled for the 16,000-seat main Olympic hockey arena will no longer be held there amid construction delays. It means the first event in the arena may be the actual Olympics themselves. Women's hockey starts on February 5th. He was asked about it. Bettman responded, quote, "You better talk to the IOC. It's not our issue," end quote. Thing or not a thing?
I don't think this is a thing until it's a thing, if that makes sense. Like, if you get to January and they don't have ice and they don't have a building, then it's a thing. But we're still a ways out. I don't have any point of reference on how close they are. In the end, all you really need is frozen water. I mean, that's kind of it. Once you have that, you can kind of do it. So I don't think you can mess that up too much. So to me, I'm going to go not a thing. I do think it's crazy as you're reading all of that. I'm thinking, like, there's no other league other than, I guess, European soccer has this, where you, like, your asset goes in place for country while you're competing at the highest level. So I guess European soccer and hockey in the Olympics are the two instances where it happens.
I think this is a little bit of a thing, or you wouldn't hear Gary Bettman talking about it. I'm guessing there is some legitimate concern from NHL team officials and owners and whatnot about possibly.
He doesn't want to really do this, Bake, because his owners don't really want to do it. The players want this, right?
And you're not wrong with that. I just think that there is some concern here, because if you can't have a player getting hurt in this is the last thing you want one of these NHL teams. That's why the NHL teams don't want this. Sure. And listen, we can go back to the Four Nations, right? That knocked Charlie McAvoy out the rest of his team's season. And guess what? The Florida Panthers do not have Matthew Tkachuk on the ice right now.
No.
Because of things that happened in the Four Nations. So the players really want this, but I understand the NHL teams wanting to protect their investment. This becomes a major thing if somebody does get hurt. If the ice isn't great and somebody loses an edge and goes into the boards and dislocates or breaks an ankle or something, that's when this becomes a huge thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It won't be a thing until it is, and then it'll be a little bit too late. Final hour on a Thursday. We'll attempt to beat the house coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Titus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on the team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Bills piling up? CME can help you wrap up your debt into one simple, manageable signature loan with rates starting as low as 8.75% APR. Instead of juggling stacks of statements, let CME help you unwrap peace of mind this season. APR from 8.75%. Terms and eligibility apply. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org.
At Giant Eagle, we're working hard to bring more ways to save to every aisle. Because every dollar and every moment counts. At Giant Eagle, we're going for better, so you can bring home the best. Because it matters.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
Been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months, or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. It's a must-win tonight for the Cincinnati Bengals. They'll host the Pittsburgh Steelers at 8:15. With a win in the whiteout, that would improve Cincinnati to 3-4 on the season. In college football, number 1 Ohio State's a 25.5-point favorite at 2-4 Wisconsin Saturday at 3:30. Hear from OSU's head coach today at noon on the Ryan Day radio show. On the ice tonight at Nationwide, the Blue Jackets host the Colorado Avalanche. Elvis Merzlikins will get the nod in net. Face-off there is 7 o'clock. You can hear it on the Fan with coverage at 6:30. In baseball, the Dodgers have the Brewers in Game 3 of the NLCS tonight. First pitch from L.A. is 6 o'clock. Los Angeles leads Milwaukee in the best of 7, 2-0. And in the ALCS, Seattle leads Toronto 2-1. Seattle's going to host Game 4 tonight at 8:30. This update sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus a special rate on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card.
10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, final hour here on a Thursday, 11 o'clock on a Thursday. Time to beat the house.
Beat the house.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Visit their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations to experience the best in craft dining and distilling. Learn more at highbankco.com.
So Reese with a little bit of a bounce back last week. He goes 9-6. His overall record on the season now is 42-51. Bo with a nice Monday night, kept it respectable. 7-8. He's 51-42 on the season. We have 15 games again this week with the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens on a bye. Of course, it all gets started tonight on Amazon Prime with Al and Kirk. The Pittsburgh Steelers, a 4.5-point road favorite on the road at the Bengals.
I just think it's too much. I could see Pittsburgh winning this one by 3. I could see Cincinnati in a must-win situation winning it by 3, too. I think they're at least going to be competent with Flacco. Pittsburgh's not world beaters by any stretch of the imagination, so I'll take the Bengals, and I'll gladly take the 4.5.
Yeah, I'm going to do Cincinnati plus the 4.5 as well. I think this game will be fun. And I think if the Bengals need it, it'll be fun. You'll have Joe Burrow to make things a little bit more interesting in those all-white uniforms. It'll be a good time for Kirk and Al.
Those uniforms are pretty special.
Look good.
That they're going to be wearing
good,
tonight.
play good, then you
nice.
might be 3-4.
Sunday morning from Wembley Stadium over in London, the Los Angeles Rams are 3.5-point favorites taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Every week looking at these London games, the international games, if it's not the Cleveland Browns, there's no way I'm watching that. And then every single week I find myself at 9:30 watching these damn games.
It's nice, right?
It's really fun. Give me the Jaguars plus the 3.5 here. I could see the Rams winning, but Jacksonville's pretty frisky.
They are. I think this is a you guys know what the Rams did on this? So they played Baltimore this week. Then they stayed in Baltimore all week. So they actually practiced at Camden Yards. They're flying tomorrow to London. And then they're playing. So everybody else goes like whole week in London, not the Rams. They're flying over to London tomorrow. They're going to be there for a day. Then they're out. I like the Ramets winning this one. I'll throw the 3.5.
Let's go to the 1 o'clock slate. That's where the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns are. It is in Cleveland. And the Browns, surprise, surprise, a favorite by 2.5 points.
Yeah, and I think appropriately so. Miami's really bad at stopping the run. I think Cleveland's going to remember that they have Quinshon Judkins, and I think instead of 12 touches, as he got last week, he'll be more in line with 22. I think their defense is going to be a problem, too. I think this is a fun Sunday up in Cleveland in the rain. I like the Browns winning this one and covering the 2.5.
Yeah, 13-10, I think the Browns win this. So give me Cleveland minus the 2.5. Also, I just called a 4-2 team frisky. I don't think that's true.
The other thing is like something's got to give here because the Dolphins give up like 28 a game and the Browns haven't scored 20 all season. So something's got to give.
Oh, no, both those things continue.
The New Orleans Saints head to Chicago to take on the Bears, and the Bears are the favored team at home by 4.5.
Yeah, New Orleans bad, and I think Caleb Williams wants to stick it to Troy Aikman. So give me Chicago minus the 4.5 here.
Yeah, that's made the rounds.
That's a great feud. Like, keep it going.
Keep that going, man. Yeah, so New Orleans has been the definition of frisky. They really have. They've really only got housed once. It was out in Seattle. But I think the wheels are going to start to fall off a little bit for them. I like the Bears, and I'll throw the points.
The New England Patriots heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Titans a home dog by 6.5.
Is this me? Titans are the worst team in the NFL by a decent margin. Them and the Jets, but even the Jets show signs of life when Garrett Wilson plays and they can spin it. There's no signs of life in Tennessee. And this is Mike Vrabel going back to the place that fired him. Oh, no. Pats by $1 billion.
Yeah, I see it the same way. I want to ask you, what would it have to be at for you to think about taking Tennessee here?
14.5.
I was thinking double digits at least.
14.5.
The Vrabel revenge tour is kind of nice.
They're playing great. They're playing with confidence. Yeah. He's a jerk. Amy Adams Strunk, what do you think's going to happen?
We love him, but he is that. He could be that for sure.
Drake May has been good this year, but he does not have a 300-yard passing game. He probably gets it this week.
Just you wait.
We've got an AFC West battle as the Raiders head to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. This number kind of surprised me. This is a big one. The Chiefs favored by 12.5.
Yeah, a little too big for me. Give me the Raiders to cover, but the Chiefs are winning this by 10.
Okay. Rashee Rice is back. Why is it that big? Why is it that big? What does somebody know, right? Somebody knows something?
I wondered if the Rashee Rice thing means that they're just going to open it up. And I think eventually.
Give me the Chiefs. It's a big number. There's got to be a reason. Give me the Chiefs.
The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Minnesota Vikings up in Minnesota. Minnesota, the underdog at home. The Eagles giving 1.5.
So this will be an interesting referendum game for Philly. The Vikings had, they were over across the pond for 2 weeks, and Philly, things have not gone well the last couple of weeks for them. I think they'd bow up and actually put a full game together. I'll take the Eagles, and I'll throw the 1.5.
Samesies, I think this is a struggle. A struggle for me to say it. A struggle for Minnesota. I think Philly gets right.
As a fan of Home Alone, the movie growing up, this is my Buzz Your Girlfriend Wolf game of the week. The Carolina Panthers favorite on the road as they head to take on the New York Jets, 1.5.
Yeah, you put real money on this game. Call the hotline. Give me the Panthers minus the 1.5.
Yeah, I don't think Garrett Wilson's playing, right? He's out for a little while. So I don't know how. They just put together, I love Justin Fields, we all do, but that's one of the worst offensive performances for a quarterback in the history of the sport. I'm with you. I got Carolina. Did I tell you the deal I did with NBC?
You did.
Remind me to tell you in the next break.
The double or nothing?
I know. And they win this one, we're going to have some problems.
So they got to pound it to the playoffs, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
By Garrett Wilson right now, according to ESPN, it says is doubtful is his status. So. Yeah. Let's head to the 4:05 games. The New York Giants heading out to the mountains of Denver to take on the Broncos. The Broncos giving 7.5 at home.
This is my most hated number that the folks out in the desert, in this case, we're using our buddies at ESPN Bet, but 7.5 go to hell. I hate 7.5 more than anything. But obviously they're pretty smart with it. I'm just going to take this approach with the Giants. They're 1 up, 1 down, 1 up, 1 down. So this is a 1 down game for them. Give me the Broncos. Short week, right? Coming back from London, all of those things. So for me, I think this is the way we go. I'll go the Broncos to cover.
I like the Giants here, at least to cover that 7.5. It's going to have to come down sometime for Jackson Dart and Cam Scatteraboo. I don't think it's this week, though. I think Cam Scatteraboo loves the city of Denver. Loves it.
The 5-1 Indianapolis Colts, dogs on the road as they head to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. The Colts getting 1.5.
No Chargers, no. Shut up, Arnold. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, same. I think Colts are legit good, and I think they go down there and take care of business. They really should be 6-0.
4:25 now. The Washington Commanders heading to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, a good old rivalry game. The Commanders, 1.5 favorites. A lot of 1.5 this week.
There is, yeah. What's going on with CeeDee Lamb? Is he still down? It's going to be a shootout. It's just a matter of... my guess, this will be is who has the ball last game, and it's essentially we're dealing with a pick'em. Do we have a CeeDee Lamb update?
He was at practice yesterday.
Yeah, limited. He's questionable right now.
I'll go commies.
Yeah, give me Washington here.
The Green Bay Packers are out in the desert taking on the Cardinals of Arizona. The Cardinals getting 6.5 as the home underdog.
Give me the Packers by a touchdown.
I'm going to take Arizona in the points on that one.
Let's go to Sunday Night Football. The Atlanta Falcons, fresh off their win over the Buffalo Bills, are in San Francisco taking on the 49ers. The 49ers 2.5-point home favorites.
Not enough. Niners get right, handle their business, take care of business at home. Looks like Purdy could be back as well. I like the Niners winning by a field goal or more.
I picked against the Falcons last week, so I'm going to pick the Falcons this week and see what happens here. I'm going to give you a chance real quick, Bo. Is Marvin Harrison still in concussion protocol? Does that change your Cardinals-Packers pick?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm okay. I like the backdoor cover for Kyler at the back door. I'm going to go that way. I'm there. And then we got the 2 Monday nighters, right, Vic?
Yep, another Monday night doubleheader, which we will pick Monday. At least they're spaced out a little bit this week. Tampa Bay is at Detroit at 7, and then the Texans in Seattle against the Seahawks at 10 p.m.
Bengals in must-win mode tonight, hosting the Steelers. We'll get you set for it coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with low prices in every aisle. Kroger shoppers never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, save big on all Halloween candy. You can save 33% with your digital coupon. Selection varies by store. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Country music's biggest selling superstar, Luke Combs presents My Kinda Saturday Night Tour.
Sounds like my kind of Saturday.
Luke Combs, live in concert in Columbus, playing at Ohio Stadium, Saturday, April 25th, with special guests Dierks Bentley, Ty Myers, Jake Worthington, and Thelma and James. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at lukecombs.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, you may be in big trouble with Chip Wood.
Our owner?
Free oil changes along with alignment?
On any Ford tire purchase.
And Goodyear's up to $200 off?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike, but I'm telling.
But the Wood family is behind all this.
Oh, those rascals.
But don't tell the accountants.
Of course not. And what do they do again?
Buy any set of 4 tires at Tire Discounters and get a free alignment and oil change. Make them Goodyear's and save up to $200 more. See store for details.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter. He'll be there quick.
Hey, it's Anthony. Wouldn't you want to drive into the new season with a brand new Honda from Germain Honda of Dublin? You can lease the 25 Honda Accord LX for just $199 a month or finance at 3.99% APR. Or the 26 Honda CR-V LX all-wheel drive, leasing from only $319 a month or finance from 4.99% APR. These fall deals are fantastic. Visit Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or you can shop online anytime at GermainHondaofDublin.com.
Timmy Hall and AI Common Man here for Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook.
This ain't one of them, Timmy.
It's not the show, it's a spot. All October, we're watching our football team on Saturdays and the tailgate buffet.
Ooh, Mikey likey. Plus, they've got the 3 apps for $12 deal, and you can beat the crowds and reserve a table.
Yes, do that at HollywoodColumbus.com, and we got a special offer this month. Become a new member of our rewards program on the ESPN Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is The Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show.
With autumn's arrival, ISA certified arborists recommend that fallen leaves be left alone or mulched to improve plant health. When leaves decay, they transform into organic matter absorbed by the soil to become moisture to trees through their roots, which helps trees weather drought conditions. Leaves are also a natural habitat for butterflies, chipmunks, earthworms, and others, which increases the population of beneficial insects for the next growing season. To learn more about the benefits of autumn leaves, contact an ISA-certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Warming through the 50s and into the 60s this afternoon. We'll see plenty of sunshine for this Thursday. Clear skies tonight. Temperatures in the low 40s. Some isolated frost possible by early Friday. Cloud cover increases Friday. Temperatures still in the 60s. 80s Saturday before storms on Sunday. That's your latest weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No? The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
League title, playoff implications on the line. Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week at Hamilton Township hosts Bloom Carroll Friday night. Coverage starts at 6:30 with the kick at 7. After the game, it's Byers Subaru Dublin overtime with Bacon Lee. Friday nights for high school football right here on The Fan. Got to be must win, right?
Yes.
You're Cincinnati, you want to try to find a way. I think that's a simple answer, Reese. Yes, it is. It's that much. I do think that the Flacco, he gave him a shot of adrenaline is what he did. Gave him a shot of adrenaline. It gave them a fighting chance, I think, from everybody's perspective. The look of it helped. Here is Zach Taylor on how much they've put on Joe so soon.
You'd be surprised. We're capable of putting, now that we know what he understands and how quickly it hits his brain, it makes sense to him. And now that we've seen him operate in our offense with our players and how he takes to that, I think he really enjoys throwing to these guys. And so, again, we'll continue to press the envelope. We don't want to overwhelm. We don't want to get to a point of diminishing returns where now we got too much and we're forgetting what this means and that means. But I think he's shown that he's capable of taking on a little bit more.
And obviously, Joe has played the Steelers 1 billion times in his career. Here is Zach leaning on Joe's experience with Pittsburgh.
I think it matters. Yeah, absolutely. He knows their style of play. He knows their level of aggression on defense and played against most of their guys over there. He was in Indy last year, played against them. So, he's been in Cleveland. So, of course, he's, like you said, played him as much as anybody has. I mean, obviously, he's probably played him more than anybody has in this league that's currently playing. So I think he's got a great sense of what it takes to win.
Let's hear from Mr. Flacco, because obviously in this game you're dealing with two quarterbacks over the age of 40. I don't know how many times that's happened in NFL history, but it's happening in this one tonight where both guys are over the age of 40. Here's Joe Flacco on him and Aaron Rodgers still being at it.
Yeah, it's one thing you guys can't talk about this week in terms of me being older, at least. But it's pretty neat. Aaron's been in the league a few years longer than me, but we both started playing in 2008. So I've been doing it for a long time. It's pretty cool.
How have you thought about how unique that aspect is, the fact that the two quarterbacks in the game are combined over 80 years old?
Has it happened before? I'm sure there's been some old guys. Brady and Breeze, yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. When I'm I've been in a locker room my whole life, so age isn't something that I think about. I just view myself as one of those 20-something-year-olds in the locker room, and so it's not something I really think about. But I think one day when you look back on it, it's just one of those things that'll be pretty cool to be able to, have a matchup like this.
Yes, and my guess is it'll be a big talking point tonight on the Amazon broadcast, the notion of the two old guys playing quarterback for both of them. You know what's interesting about this? Here we are on October 16th, and if you go back to like our previews in August, you could make an argument that the AFC North was the best division in football. This thing's a mess. Part because of injury, part because teams not performing. But now you're in the situation like Baltimore is going to try to do something that I don't know if it's ever been done, to go from 1-5 to the postseason. That's what they're going to try to do. Cincinnati's trying to stay afloat tonight. Pittsburgh is going to get to 5-1 if they win, but you look at them and they don't seem impervious. They're one of the worst defensive teams in football, back third in everything. They don't really have a running game that they've stabilized too much. They kind of just have one weapon in the pass game and DK Metcalf, and that's it. That's the list. So it's a division now that at the beginning in August you would have said, yeah, 3 teams are getting in. It feels to me like 1 now. And it feels like it's really uphill for either Cincinnati or Baltimore to track it down. If you had to bet on one, I would bet on Baltimore, even though Cincinnati has one more win right now, just because I know the cavalry's coming over the hill for Baltimore, and it's not for Cincinnati, not for a long time, if at all.
And Baltimore's got only 1 game so far in the division, and that was a win over the Cleveland Browns. So they've got 2 against the Steelers. They've got 2 against the Bengals coming out of the bye week. Plus, if they can get healthy, and figure things out offensively, yeah, that's the team I think most people would put money on. It's just for Cincinnati here, a win puts you 3-4, and it feels more navigable for them to just be at 500 by the time you get Joe Burrow back. Such a weird thing to say because you don't really know when that's going to be. You think before the week before Christmas at best, but nobody said anything about it. And maybe something like that happens to where if they're able to win tonight on Thursday Night Football, they're able to get a little bit more momentum, or everybody's starting to feel good down there, then maybe a report trickles out from Burrow's camp. Like, well, if they win, my toe's feeling better.
Jeez.
A loss, and you're probably just putting him on the show for the season because you're not coming back at, 2-5. You're just not.
And it's interesting, like, I have given up on the Bengals. I just don't think it's there for them. But if they can get a win tonight, you got the Jets, the Bears, then the Steelers again. The Patriots are playing good. The Ravens will have Lamar back, but you never know. Like these games in the division, they matter a lot. Like they're 1-0 in the division right now. They can get another one. They're 2-0. If you can keep beating your division rivals, that's the easiest path to a playoff spot. So as much as I've written off the Bengals, if they win tonight, they really are right in the middle of this because I see no reason they can't beat the Jets. I see no reason they can't beat the Bears. And that'd be 3 in a row. Then you're over 500.
Joe Flacco, 11-11 all time against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
How about that?
It's the rubber match.
It is. Yeah, I think it's the next two. If you're Cincinnati, and they showed big-time signs of life against Green Bay. At Green Bay, tough place to play. Green Bay's a really good team. They were in it. They were in it till the end. And I think Joe gives him a little bit of that. He's much more fearless throwing the ball to Chase. And they got Higgins going last week, which is something they had not done yet this year. But if they can win back-to-back, if you Pittsburgh tonight, then I would think that they would beat the Jets in 10 days. Again, at home, you got a 2-game homestand here over the better part of 2 weeks with a mini bye built in. Now you're 4-4. And now that rehab starts to amp up for Joe. And then you can just play splitsies the rest of the way. And hopefully, by the time you get to that second Ravens game on the 14th of December, which is 2 months away, hopefully if you can get there around 500, which isn't that hard to do, then maybe you got a shot. But again, I have not seen a single thing from Burrow's camp leading you to believe that he will be back in December at all. Now, I haven't seen him say he's done for the year, but I haven't also heard anything saying things are progressing and we expect him.
And, Bo, if you can get him back, or even if you can't, right? Like, if you get to that point and you're around 500, that means Flacco's doing, enough for you, right? Mm-hmm. He's doing an okay job. After that Ravens game that you talked about, especially if they get Burrow back, your last 3 in Miami to play the Dolphins, and then at home against the Cardinals and Browns, there's no reason you can't rip off 3 at the end of the year either.
Conversely, what is the ceiling on Pittsburgh? Because
they've got hold of the division, but it feels like the kind of handshake if you get from somebody, be like, that person has no confidence. I think if you win tonight, if you're Pittsburgh, so it puts you at 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe at the deadline you try to get a deep threat here because defensively you're fine. Although I guess you have to.
I mean, it's not great, but they're opportunistic. They get turnovers, but it's not what they're used to.
No, but you have T.J. Watt, and you can be fine with that. And I think if the deep threat, if you can add somebody across from DK Metcalf that can make it really impossible to cover that. Rodgers has been good. You can plot along with this thing, win the division before the month of December, and probably feel really good about yourself. Now, I don't know what the hell they're going to be in the playoffs. You talk about going up against a Mahomes, right? Yeah. But I don't think that's what they're thinking about right now.
I felt like all along Pittsburgh had a ceiling of 11-6. And if they can win this game tonight, they're 2-0 in the division. They're 4-0 in conference, which I think those things matter for tiebreakers later on down the road. They've got it tough, though, coming up. They've got the Packers and the Colts at the Chargers. Then they have the Bengals and the Bears, not too tough. The Bills at the Ravens. Dolphins at Lions. at Cleveland, then Baltimore to wrap it up. So their schedule, as opposed to the Bengals, much more tougher from here on out.
Yeah, we say must win Cincinnati. It's not that for Pittsburgh. They're 4-1. They're fine. But when you're going Packers at home, Colts at home, at Chargers next 3, from the Pittsburgh perspective, if I go 2-2 in those 4 games, I'm sitting there at 6-3. I've got divisional success, and then you're at Bears, Bills, at Ravens, those 3 that follow that. So, Pittsburgh's going to win this division. For Cincinnati to have a puncher's chance at making the postseason, they got to have it. It is an absolute must win for them to get that taken care of, and we'll see. It's going to be a very, very fun game tonight, obviously. All right, coming up next, Jackets back at home in 2 minutes from now. A little bit of Shelley time, Bishop and Friends, right here on the Fan.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled; they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loads and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
At Highbank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. Their Whiskey War spirits tell the story of Prohibition in every sip and was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Enjoy Highbank's nationally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
Make your Halloween a good deal spookier at Meijer with frighteningly good low prices. To celebrate my favorite holiday of the year, get 25% off costumes for you and your little creatures. Select fun-sized bag candy is only $9.99. Indoor party decorations and throws are also 25% off. Perfect for turning your home into a chillingly fun, spooky house. The selection and savings at Meijer are enough to make you go wonderfully batty. You see what I did there? Batty? Halloween at Meijer. Always a ghoulishly good deal better. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The gloves. Shelley time.
Sponsored by Midwest Cards. Experience collecting in a whole new way.
All right, time for a little Shelley time on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Puck drop tonight against the Colorado Avalanche, who come to town. Cam Atkinson signing. He's doing it right now. He's having the ceremony. He's going to sign it officially and then be honored tonight before the game. I had Cam on earlier today, Jode. First of all, it made me feel old that he's retiring at 36. I remember having him on the radio like a dozen years ago, and I'm like, how did that happen? How did we all get old? But I think about Cam, and I said this to him. I think he was just pure joy. The whole time he was here, he was just pure joy, just so much fun to watch.
He was. First of all, old is a mindset, so you got to get that out. You got to let that go. Free yourself from that burden. Yeah, Cam, just the smiles, right? That's what I think about at Nationwide Arena. Big moments, fun to watch, brought you out of your seat, and a guy and a huge member of our local community here now. So, checks all the boxes. I love that he's retiring here and being a part of our local alumni. And, he's excited. I just saw him, and him and his family are here. His dad's in from Connecticut, his mom, and they're doing the press conference right now, signing the contract, and he's going to retire a Blue Jacket, which is very fitting.
It is. I can't imagine it any other way. One of the more popular players, and he was here, and he and I were talking a little bit about what he's doing with youth hockey and elevating it around town. And I asked him, I said, because we had Klesla in studio yesterday, so we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of all of this, like all you guys are with the Jackets, and he goes, that was probably the biggest difference in terms of the youth hockey when he got here to what it is now. And obviously, he's putting his money where his mouth is, but you witness that all the time too. I mean, that is one of the biggest transformations that we've seen in North American sports, is what hockey has become here. And there still needs to be more. I think we all would love to see more and more at the youth level and more rinks and all those things. But my goodness, did they come a long way.
And hockey, like women's hockey, is growing immensely. I think it's the largest growing part of hockey right now is women's hockey. So that that it's every facet of the game, any way you can play it. It's right here in Columbus. And, it's grown to be a high-level hockey. High school hockey in Columbus, Ohio, is winning championships now. It used to always be Cleveland. And, it's the growth of the youth hockey, the AAA program. A lot of those guys are, they're getting to high school and they want to play with their buddies and be a varsity athlete. And it's really elevated every level of hockey around here.
Yeah, it really has. One of the things that have been a theme as we turn our attention to the game tonight has been the power play opportunities, both for the opponent and for the Blue Jackets. So we talked about this Monday before the Devils game, and sure enough, Jackets go 0 for 5 on the power play. Devils go 2 for 2, and in a 3-2 game, that's it. So what do you do when you have struggles like this on special teams, Jody, and what will Dean do tonight? Do you expect changes?
Yeah, there's a couple changes. That's the first thing you do, and it's early in the season, but it stings. And they got away with it in Minnesota, got the win, but it stings when it happens at home and you lose by a goal, and missed opportunities is what you look at. So he's changed a couple things on the power play. Coyle is going in the middle of the ice where Monahan usually is in the offensive zone. They call that the bumper. It's like, think of a release valve. Pressure on the outside, throw it in the middle, everyone converges, then your outside opens up a little bit. That's Coyle's responsibility. It's also a shooting area. Kent Johnson's off of that spot where he was to Zach Werenski's right. If Zach's looking at the net, Kent Johnson's on the other unit with Fantilli. And Monahan moves out of that middle position and moves off to the left side, and Voronkov's in front of the net. So a couple changes there. Boone Jenner's not in front of the net on that unit anymore.
Okay.
I think the biggest change is in the lines. You talk special teams. Boone Jenner was a top-line winger, and Boone Jenner will play anywhere, but he's on the third line now with Charlie Coyle and Matthew Olivier.
Whoa.
That is going to be a hard line to play against. That is going to be a line that's going to start games and set the tone, and tonight they're going to play against McKinnon, in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen. That sets the tone and tempo for everything. They have an assignment. They're going to be very, very responsible, hard to play against, big and in your face. It's kind of what you need. You know what I mean? You don't need three lines that are kind of just out there looking for goals and too spread out. Call that an identity line. How's that? And that's what we need. I think that's important. And Kent Johnson goes up in the top line in Boone Jenner's spot. So he's with Marchenko tonight and Monahan. I like that as well because you know what? He was on the third line. He wasn't happy. His minutes were down. Now he's going to go out there and he has to prove it tonight. So with him and Fantilli, not a lot of going on early in this season. Look for them to work to get there. I think I've seen it around the league with a lot of players who, 4 or 5 games in, team has lost a couple times. You look for those young stars. And in my opinion, they forget how hard it is to get the goals. You know what I mean? Like there is a real short focus to get there, win the battle, move the puck, get it back, find the rebound, put it in the net. But for these guys to be a little more noticeable in the work, not that they weren't working, but working right here tonight.
When you in your career, and were you in St. Louis last night? Did I see that?
I was. Just got back, Southwest. Want to get away?
Bless you.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a beautiful flight. Easy to get to St. Louis, man.
Very easy. So this is what I was going to ask you, though, is you've been around the league a long time. You have ultra highly skilled young players like Fantilli and Johnson, and you get off to slow starts. What do you do? What the coaches who do it best, the people that are around those guys best, what do they do to get them ignited? How do you get that to switch? Is it just simply if you see one go in, then they come in waves, or how do you make sure it doesn't become what you are?
I go back if I was the coach, which I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I would show video of them scoring goals last year, not the highlight reel, toe drag, cannon goes off, that everyone's seen. The goal that goes bounce, you work to get inside, you battled on the wall, look where those goals that you're like, they call them, dirty goals.
Greasy,
I would show a couple of those. Greasy, great word. That's what I was going for. Yeah. Dirty and greasy. I would show them that, but I would challenge them. Ice time, power play time. Fantilli wasn't out there last game at the end of the game. He doesn't like that. He wants to be out there. So those are ways to challenge guys. You don't just give them what they think they deserve. I think you challenge them, and I think that's very important, especially early in the season, to say, hey, you got 31 goals last year, but you got to earn it. We got new guys here in different roles. Kent Johnson's not killing penalties now. Got to earn it. So I think that's a very healthy thing to have.
Pretty slick move from play from Marchenko to take it from Hughes and go the other way. You like that?
I liked it.
That's fun.
The defensive side of the puck, and it's funny, I talked to Zach that game day, so that would have been Monday, and I asked him who's the hardest forward to play against on the team, and he said Marchenko because of his stick battles. He's got a very strong and quick stick, and he did exactly that with Hughes the other night. Quick to get it, strong to get the puck, but then the skill to pull it back and then get going. So, yeah, he's done a really good job of picking up where he left off with the battle level, and that's why he's getting rewarded.
Yeah, it seems like he wants more. So it's been a heck of a start for him. And he was unbelievable last year.
He was.
Elvis in net?
Elvis is in. Yeah, Elvis is in tonight. He's going to make his season debut at home. And, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar. McKinnon's a top centerman, I think, in the world. And Makar's, I think the 1B centerman or defenseman in the world. Him and Zach Werenski head-to-head tonight is going to be a show. But McKinnon's a handful. When he gets rumbling up the ice, his hands, his feet, his deception, his shot, his drive to be the best in the world it comes off the ice. So big task here tonight. But it's not just Elvis. It's going to be a 5-man cohesion tonight to win this game. I think they get it done.
Yeah,
I think this is the test they need early.
Yeah, and it's like, look, you're 3 games in. It's not must win, but Rothman made a great point yesterday. I was listening to him on Rothman and Ice, and he said, look, you have to put some of these points away. You don't want to chase this. Now you got to. It's a great point. Don't give up too many early. You don't want to chase these down in March.
No, and listen, some teams aren't organized. They're not happy with how they're going. They got new systems and new coaches. Good teams right now are making sure they're putting points in the bank. Even if they're not playing great, they're finding ways to get it done because this is an important time of year to get out to that start and then just try to stay above the group, right? Get above the group and then just try to stay there.
Yeah, that's it. Good stuff, buddy. Hopefully. Oh, pick to click. Who do you got? Who you like tonight?
Chinnikov's back in. Maybe I should pick him. He's only playing on the 4th line, though. I took Fantilli last time and I was wrong. I'm going to go Cole Sillinger. We haven't talked about him. He's had a good camp. He's quick. He's on that line. He wants more. Let's go with Cole Sillinger.
You got it, buddy. All right. Look forward to listening tonight. Thanks for your time as always, pal.
Great talking. Thanks, Bo. Have a good day.
There he goes. A little bit of Shelley time on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Speaking of the Jackets, hockey is obviously back. Jackets take on the Avs tonight and then Tampa Bay on Saturday at Nationwide. We're giving away 2 tickets to Saturday night's game against the Lightning if and only if you can identify which Columbus Blue Jacket player signed today and will be honored tonight. If you can do that correctly, we had him on the show in the first hour. First one to be able to do that's going to scoop up those 2 tickets. Get your tickets now at bluejackets.com. 3 things on a Thursday, up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Progressive Insurance. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
The Daily Ryan Day Show is brought to you locally by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers and by Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
This is a Daily Show with Coach Ryan Day, brought to you by Safelite Auto Glass. Max Clare, a tight end, in that big tight end group, are his skills something that kind of makes him different from all the other guys in that group, Ryan?
Yeah, each tight end has a different skill set. When you look at tight ends, typically they're really good in the run game, not very good in the pass game. Then you have guys who are really good in the pass game, not very good in the run game, and then there's kind of somewhere in between. And so, Max certainly can block, but he can really run routes down the field and create separation. He's got good hands, and he's a weapon for us. And so, he needs to continue to keep grinding and keep working to get better and more consistent. But you're seeing, what a weapon he can be for us in the pass game.
Okay, we'll have another comment in just a moment. Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say. Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
This past weekend's game at Illinois, Ryan, I know there were multiple positions. It started in plus territory. Can that kind of affect and change your list of play calling?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a good thing to be in plus territory. It's just that it's a different game, and being in the red zone, the game shrinks down. So it's a good problem to have. But it's just one of those games where the field was tilted the entire game, and that's because of the turnovers, and that was a good thing. So. I think we were 6 for 6 in a red zone, 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals. We always want to be 100% with field goal with touchdowns. The goal 75, so just a little bit off there. But yeah, when you get down in there, the game does change. The closer you get to the goal line, the more it changes. And we had a lot of snaps in that area this past week.
Okay, there's the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
For over 37 years, Buckeye Nation has known Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse for serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks are a staple in Columbus, with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. And just like the Buckeyes, we strive for excellence and an experience like no other. Hyde Park is proud to introduce the newly added wine room at our downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining surrounds you, creating the ideal setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Around here, it's all or nothing, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anybody, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through November 3rd, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford tough and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
When General Sherman marched through Georgia, he was listening to this show.
Use your skills for good, young warrior.
This is Bishop and Friends.
All right, Reese, what do we have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Poll asks, who do you think will win tonight's Thursday night football matchup in Cincinnati between the Bengals and the Steelers? 79% say the Steelers are going to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati. Where are you on that, Bake? Reese and I both picked the Bengals to cover.
I think the Steelers win by a touchdown.
Touchdown, you go opposite.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, time for 3 things on a Thursday. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina, Central Ohio's largest selection of new and pre-owned boats. Find your next dream boat at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
All right, number 1 for me. I mentioned this. The 13-year-old NBC has spent the week in D.C. with his 8th grade class, and so they've done the things that you can do. I mean, the government's closed. You can't go to the Smithsonian. You can't do any of that. But they've done, Mount Vernon. I think they did Gettysburg. They're doing Arlington. They're doing the monuments. All of those type of things. And I was curious how he would do with all of it. I mean, I knew he'd have a blast and all of that, but I was curious, like, would he be keeping in contact? Would he be like, hey, Dad, check this out. Here's a cool shot I took at the Lincoln Monument. Nothing. Crickets. I've heard nothing from him. Like true cats in the cradle. So I texted him last night, and I said, Peyton, which is his actual name, I said, Peyton, this is Bo Bishop, your father. Are you okay? It took him like 6 hours to get back to me, which isn't okay. When I text, they have to respond right away. But like 12:20 in the night, he goes, I'm good, Dad. Miss you. And I'm thinking, not much, because I haven't heard from you all week, pal.
I was going to say, you just threatened to cut off his cell phone.
Gosh.
But then how would you, contact?
Punk.
Get him a pager.
Yeah. Give him the old beeper.
Like the wire.
It was really cool to have Cam Atkinson on earlier in the program. He signed his one-day contract, going to retire as a member of the organization. Aaron Portsline's got a great video up on his Twitter, and the Jackets have also released one of Cam signing it and talking with Dean Evison and just the emotion from Cam and from Dean and what's going to be a really cool scene tonight in the game against the Avalanche. Before that, they're going to honor Cam, and he's going to be able to take one final lap around the ice at Nationwide. It's special.
Cool.
I'm just going to piggyback off of that, Reese. We already talked about it. Cam is my favorite Blue Jacket of all time. And I think sometimes at least for me, when I'm in this business, sometimes I kind of forget that we all got into this because we were fans and we love sports, even though we have to do this professionally. Like, that's still there. Like, I don't have a lot of, like, fangirl, you call it, moments, but, like, us talking to Cam today, even though that I didn't really talk to him in the interview, that was pretty cool for me. I'm wearing this Cam Sanity shirt, and you better believe it's going to be on under my quarter zip tonight at the Blue Jackets game. I don't care.
Yeah, I think he just was so much fun. I don't remember him ever not smiling.
Always smiling.
Always smiling. I mean, I just think he was so infectious for kids. They just, you just fell in love with him, and he came right at the right time. And he's part of some of the best moments, the playoffs in Pittsburgh, and then the win against Toronto and the win against Tampa Bay as well. So yeah, no, it's he's an all timer and deserves everything that's going to come his way tonight. He had a 41 goal season here too. It was a beast on that side of things. All right, number 2 for me. So we're through most of the hard stuff with the youth basketball stuff. So we did the tryouts, we split the teams, made the cuts, all of that stuff, found coaches. On Tuesday, we had uniform try-ons. So you have a QR code, and you use the QR code, and then you type in, you put your sizes in for your uniforms, and then you get 3 numbers that you can pick. If you were to guess the most popular number by far amongst the youth basketball players, what would that number be?
0.
7.
It's great. Some things
30,
never change.
no.
23.
Okay. There we go.
23. Every single team had at least 2 kids whose first choice was 23. A ton of 23s still remains. And you think about the idea of, and I know LeBron's wore 6 sometimes too, but to go from Jordan to LeBron in that number is a
Pretty impressive.
thing. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I was thinking you were going to say 30. Everyone's trying to be out there like Steph.
There's some 30s.
Yeah.
There's some 30s. My kids, they did it of their own. I wore 32, and so they wear 32. I don't make them. They can pick whatever number they want, and they've always picked 32. I think 32 is going to have a little bit of a renaissance with Cooper Flagg this year. So
Just a
you
little.
could be seeing a lot of those, lot more 32s in the future.
Second thing for me, your second reminder about the Columbus Marathon, Sunday morning at 7:30. So plan your Saturday night and into Sunday accordingly if you're driving around the middle of the city. There's going to be limited road access Saturday because the Crew and the Blue Jackets are going to be playing it nationwide. So just don't say we didn't warn you.
Second thing for me was over at Nationwide last night, too, for the Adam Sandler You're My Best Friend tour comedy show. And it was pretty cool. First things first, I did not realize how many people around town would have Happy Gilmore sweaters or shirts or Bobby Boucher jerseys. I mean, obviously that was the place for them, but it was, they were everywhere. It was a different kind of comedy show. Like, it's just, he puts on a different show, but he had a bunch of people there. Rob Schneider made an appearance. Nick Swartzen and Kevin Nealon did sets to open up for him. Kevin James ended up out in the crowd at some point, and they did a thing. So it was a pretty cool show to see. Pretty fun on a Wednesday night. $190 though for a zip-up hoodie. I thought that was kind of a lot. And I don't know if he does this in all of his shows, but he did a tribute song to Chris Farley, and Chris Farley is my favorite of all time, and that was pretty awesome that all these years later, Farley made that much of an impression on him that he continues to tribute him.
Does he just do skits or jokes, or was it just tell like story time?
It's a little bit of everything.
Okay.
It's all of that mashed up into one.
So this will dovetail into my number 3 because I saw him at Ohio State getting shots up with Deebs. So that's a win.
Nice.
To get him getting some shots up. His commitment to the longer than knee length shorts is also remarkable that he keeps doing that. The most recent Sandler movie and the last Sandler movie that I saw, like probably at all, was Big Daddy. That's the last one I've seen. That's how long it's been.
Final thing for me, Josh Naylor wore a Kevin Durant Seattle Supersonics jersey before Game 3 last night of the ALCS, then went 0 for 3.
There you go.
Come on.
Where Gary Payton?
Somebody that's won in Seattle.
Last thing for me, that music means the Ryan Day Show coming up next. But stick around afterwards. It's a Gold Jacket Thursday with Rothman and I still have former Miami Dolphins center Dwight Stevenson.
There you go. You have that to look forward to, which is nice. We're back tomorrow on a Football Friday. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
An encyclopedic knowledge of sports and other random things you may or may not care about.
I think I found my mentor.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to